My name is Kyle C, and today on the Season 5 premiere of The Stoop, a mini podcast series, we're going to be doing an all-time basketball fantasy draft. So this is basically what it consists of. It's myself and the rest of my South SSA family members as we basically do an all-time basketball fantasy draft based on the greatest players of all time for the last 40 years. So basically from 1980 until right now. So basically, Wilt Chamberlain and Jerry West are not available. And you can draft any way you want. So basically, you can go from Michael Jordan to Rafael Arujo if you want. That's on you. We go 7 rounds deep based on your starting lineup, which would be the center, power forward, small forward, point guard, and shooting guard, as well as 2 flex spots. Also, I'm going to be posting each round separately so that you can see each and every round step by step. And I'm also going to post the final cut, which is the actual entire draft. I'll post that at the end. Now, because I normally do podcasts, at this time I usually would say for you to follow my podcast on South SSA Radio. And you can listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts, which is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, and Alexa, just for starters. And I would also tell you to listen, rate, review, and subscribe to all of the shows on South SSA Radio. But I also want you to like and subscribe right here. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can check out all the latest episodes, series, content that I have provided for South SSA. And I appreciate you guys for spending, free $99 to do that. I appreciate you. But make sure you like and subscribe as well on this here channel. Other than that, I've said everything else I wanted to say. I don't want to hold this process up, so let's get started. This is The Stoop on South SSA Radio, and Season 5 begins now. Welcome to The Stoop, where we're about to have the all-time basketball fantasy draft. So before we begin, I usually refer to most of these guys on this screen as South SSA family members. So this is the first time we're getting the chance to see their faces. So we'll start with the person who has the number 1 pick. We affectionately call him here as Julian, a.k.a. Juice of Commission, because he runs about 419 fantasy leagues across the GTA, across all 4 major sports. How you doing today, sir?
Good, very good, very good. As you know, I am the commish. You guys are setting yourselves up for failure by doing a fantasy draft with me. I don't understand this, but thank you for having me.
No problem.
Great draft, homie. How could you?
We'll see. All right, next up, we got another South SSA family member. In his past life, he was an All-American in track, and on his resume, he's gonna now have on his resume. He also lived in the same city as Kareem Maine. Ladies and gentlemen, heavies of the show, how you doing?
Say Hubert Quebec, baby. Represent. I'm good.
All right, and next up, we got the one of the other South SSA family members, a South SSA representative, head coach of XL Hoops, and he's a COO of Team Lightskin. Ladies and gentlemen, Randall Walton to the show. How you doing?
Yes, sir. Man, I like the other introduction you had last time, man. That was just...
I have to shorten it up a little bit, man.
I got you, brother.
and the last but not least, he's the first-time guest of the show. He's in our fantasy draft that we play in, but in his past life, he was the all-time scorer in Canadian basketball history. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Batchelor to the show. How you doing today, sir?
You guys doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I already explained the rules in the beginning with this intro, so we're going to pretty much get down to it. So one more time, the order of the draft is Julian goes first, Anthony second, I'm third, Randall's fourth, and Henry's rounding up the first round with the snake draft commitments going through. So let me just share the screen so you guys can see how everything's going to be listed here. Everybody can see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Nice.
All right, so we're good to go. All right, so without further ado, Julian, who's your number 1 pick?
All right, so the first pick going to the 2020 all-time career fantasy draft goes to, will be, DeMar DeRozan. No, I'm joking. I
was literally about to type.
I was trying to keep a poker face. I was like, yo, this guy's a real homer.
Delete that. So,
I know you want to draft him, though. You
I do.
If
it was a volume categories, I would have definitely taken him. But no,
If it was on mid-range shots, you would have
Mid-range
definitely
shots.
absolutely drafted him.
and no threes as the cat. But anyhow, no, honestly, the first pick is going to go to, and it wasn't easy actually, but I had to go with Michael Jordan. But the reason why it wasn't easy, he's not like your typical, like he is your stat stuffer, but he's like your triple double type of guy that you would want in a fantasy draft. But he still gets me the points. He still gets me I think he averaged 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and got almost 50% from the field.
Yeah,
and he gets me the three ball. So you can't go wrong with taking Michael Jordan. But honestly, it wasn't like an easy, clear cut pick as my first pick overall.
and I figured too, you probably got seduced by The Last Dance, so that's probably why you chose him as well. But you know
But
what?
that documentary was bum though. I was expecting more.
I was too. So no, that did not influence me.
Bum? You thought it was bum?
Well, sorry, that's harsh. I wouldn't say bum, but I was expecting more nuggets.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I said it to you guys already. The first 2 chapters to me was the best because there was a lot of stuff I didn't already know. But as a huge basketball fan and a Bulls fan growing up, a lot of the other intricacies I already kind of knew, right? So
Yeah, I think from everything until he first retired, I think it was probably the first 6 episodes. I think it was really good. I thought it was good, but it came at the perfect time too, right? Where the whole world was on lockdown at the point.
exactly.
You had nothing to watch. Shows like Billions was off the air. It was the perfect time to come through. But yeah, you can't argue with Jordan being the number 1 pick.
No, you can't.
No, I mean I forget.
He's my shooting guard too, right? So I know you said we had to choose positions, right?
Yes. So let me
you should put that in there so
yeah,
we can
got it.
Well, correctly. So yeah, he's my shooting guard.
Okay.
And there ain't many shooting guards that can fill up a stat sheet like Mike can.
Like him.
So that's another reason why I chose Mike.
No, absolutely. All right. Second pick is Anthony. Who you got?
My second pick, I'm gonna have to roll with LeBron.
Ooh. Okay.
I did not want to go with LeBron as my first, but obviously with Jordan coming off the board, which was kind of an easy one. I gotta keep it real with the whole position. LeBron can play many positions, and the numbers across the board. I mean, he's putting them up. Career wise, you're looking at 27. Rebound wise, you're over 5. You're looking at about 7. And then assist wise, 7. And then the fact that because he can't really shoot, his field goal percentage is actually up. So a lot of 3-point jumpers aren't really coming down to bring my percentage down. So field goal percentage is 50%. But now, as of late, being that he now has a better IQ to where, not better, but he's always had the IQ, but now that he can actually, his shot selection is getting better. And being that he's always continuously looking for other superstars to play with because he can't do it by himself. Yes, I'm saying that. His 3-point field goal percentage is actually up as well, looking around low 30s, which is somewhat decent enough for me so that when I add my next round of players, that 3-point percentage won't be killing me too bad.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, 27, 7, and 7. For everybody that rips him and all that stuff, and I mean, shit, I take shots at him too when I can here and there. I mean, you can't deny the all around greatness, and he's great for fantasy.
Yeah.
So for you LeBron lovers, this doesn't solidify him being the number 2 player of all time in real life just because he's being selected number 2 in this thing.
That's what we talked about. Fantasy, were we doing fantasy or reality, right? It's a difference.
No, absolutely. All right, so let me go third here. I'm gonna go with he revolutionized his position.
I already know who you're taking from
all-around player. I mean, he's the best at his position by far, I think. And I could probably show you better than I could tell you. Hold on a second for y'all to see right there.
Damn.
Really that early? Ooh, wow, I was not expecting that though.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? I mean, you can spit all the career stats, but fantasy-wise, I mean, the guy's pretty much a walking triple-double. 19.7 boards, especially from your point guard, which is crazy. And then the assist, he's giving you like 11, 12 assists a night. He shoots great field goal percentage. He's a good free throw shooter. He gets steals. He gets blocks. I mean, he especially from the point guard position, like he's a stat stuffer. I mean, you can't, regardless if you played in the 80s, you can't deny that, man. Facts is facts. Can't deny that.
Right.
What I mean? Y'all thought this was early?
I mean, for other people that would probably put up better numbers, like he's a walking triple double for sure. But I just feel that there's other people on the board, fantasy number wise, that probably would go before Magic.
And plus for me, he's my all-time favorite player. I can't see him on any of your teams. It's got to be on mine. So that's why I'm going with him. But he's my guy. So I got a bias. But at the same time, I think stat-wise, he does a really great job for the point guard position, especially the boards, man. Like you can't front on that. Career-wise, like he's crazy. Of course, why wouldn't he be 6'9" point guard? That's why there's only he's like a 1-on-1, right?
Right.
Essentially. All right. So actually, let me put this up in here. So while I'm typing this in, Randall, who's your pick?
I mean, if we go fantasy wise, I mean, this guy was a stat stuffer. You know what I mean? Like he averaged 30 points a game, almost 23 rebounds a game. Over almost 5 assists a game, a little like 4.4 point assists a game, and I think he averaged almost like.
Don't say it, Julian. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'll let him finish.
Yeah, let him finish. Let him finish.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Okay, so we're gonna rewind. We're gonna rewind it a little bit. This is recorded, but we're gonna rewind this a little bit. So
He touched the 80s?
How old is he?
How old is he, Randall?
What does it matter?
What do you mean? It's from 1980 and up.
Oh, it's like I sorry, my bad. I didn't even.
Yo, I saw Julian like this. Like,
When I had 23,
I know exactly. Do you see my shit? I was like this. And he said 23 rebounds. I was like, man, he's doing it.
Yeah. But,
Okay. Rewind it then. I didn't know it was 1980. My bad. I thought it was all time.
No, this is recorded. This is recorded, so I can't erase this point. It's fine.
All right. Well,
you gotta eat the cost of that.
Then I'm gonna go with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay.
And why Kareem? Because Wilt wasn't available?
You bastard. I mean, he still averaged, he still got almost like, historic numbers, almost 25 points a game, over, close to 11 rebounds a game, close to 4 assists a game. And he's still fantasy legend in regard, and field goal percentage is up there. I can't find his blocks per game, but I'm sure he had a couple. So
yeah, his blocks is like it's over 2 a game, I think, for his career. I actually was hoping he would come back around so I can grab him. He's almost 3 actually, and I don't even think they counted his stats in the first. They didn't count his stats the first few years. I don't think blocks was like counted until like the mid 70s. So he missed a few years where they weren't even counting that. So that was high back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's a good pick. Like I said, I was hoping that would come back around. But Wilt Chamberlain is not available. Headley, you're next. You're wrapping up the first round. Who you got?
All right. So I got 2 picks, so it really doesn't make a difference in terms of order. But doing my research, if you're looking at the top 5 years, statistically, he's had the best fantasy year of all time. So definitely over the course of 5 years, he's up there. Career-wise, he's top 5. Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Larry Bird.
When I was looking at Bird's numbers, it popped up to me, like it actually surprised me how many.
Yeah.
Because when you see the highlights, it's all like jumpers and threes and points, and some flamboyant, some crazy assists and whatnot. In the highlights I'm talking about. But yeah, his actually his career stats, I was like, whoa, in terms of the other things that he could do in terms of fantasy wise.
I'll tell you a funny story. I still remember in high school, obviously Bird was, he was part of the dream team, right? And I knew he was good, but obviously that was when he was ailing, right? He had bad knees, bad ankles at that time. And I remember, back then when you used to watch those highlight reels, videos of your favorite player and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I watched Bird's Nest, the career on Larry Bird.
Oh, VHS, right?
On VHS. To this day, it's the best highlight reel I've ever. I never knew how much of a trash talker Larry Bird was until I watched that reel. I was like, yo, Bird is one badass white boy, straight up and down. You know what I mean? I give that guy all the praise and all the respects.
And you know what's crazy though too? Like, growing up, I've been watching ball since I was like in elementary school, right? Like most of us or whatever. But I never liked them. I hated the Celtics, right? I was always a Lakers guy and, riding with them. It's only this last couple of years in the league, like when he was slowing down and you got a chance to understand basketball a little more. And that's when you're like, yo, this guy was nice. So, he had a bad back and everything. But it's funny. One of my favorite trash talk stories that he's ever, and he's had many, but one of my favorite trash talk stories that I've ever heard from him was, they were talking about one time this is when he was at the very peak of his career. And he said he was so bored with the competition that he was like, you know what? I'm going to average 35 a night on this 7-game road trip. Right. So after 6 games, he averaged like over 35. And then they said the last game, he was like, you know what? I'm going to do 35 or whatever, but I'm only going to shoot left-handed. And they said after 3 quarters, he had like 40 points. And when you look at the highlights, every shot, left hand. It's insane.
To see somebody do that in a game.
In an NBA game.
In an NBA game,
exactly.
A professional game. Like your career, like he could do anything he wanted, but like no player can do that at that professional level and because you're risking everything. Not only like your team like a loss, but just your whole credibility and it's mind-boggling that he actually did that.
No.
Even for that era.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's just this story is crazy. But when you see the highlights and you just see them like taking hook shots and jumpers and runners with his left hand, I'm like, yo, like it ain't fair. And like it all. That's why I always say with basketball, as much as you want to be a great athlete, it's really about the skill. It's about the foundation of your skills, because look how slow he was. He wasn't the biggest, like he wasn't the fastest guy and stuff. And there was guys in the 80s that was super athletic. Like every time he used to play Dominique, he used to destroy him. And Dominique was crazy athletic. Nobody could stop him, So,
I think Neek was talking about a story. I don't know if it was his team. I don't know if it was him or one of his teammates where Bird was like, yo, it was like, I think the game was tied or they're down 1. And he went to the opposing player. He told him, like, listen, I'm going to get the ball right here. I'm going to dribble right here. And I'm going to take the shot right here.
I heard that.
And he did exactly that. And then not only did he score, he went to the guy and he's like, yo, I didn't mean to leave any time on the clock. There was like 0.1 seconds left. And he's like, I meant it to be a buzzer beater. Like, what an asshole, man. Like, straight up. Straight up.
Ain't nothing you can do about it either.
No, what are you going to do? You just got to eat it.
You just got to eat it.
You just got to eat it.
It's the reason why, because especially now, when they have these conversations about best players of all time, like his name doesn't really get mentioned that much anymore, right? But it's like, there's a reason why like him and Magic saved the league, right? Like you can't deny that talent. He's unbelievable. All right. So we'll start off with the second round to see that you're first. Who you got?
Okay. I got one quick question. If a player is kind of like a flex player where he can play in multiple positions, I can pick which place I want to put him in.
That's a good question. You know what?
No, I wouldn't say that. No.
I was going to say let's go with the commission.
No, I would say whatever he is like officially listed as.
Officially listed as.
Well,
but that's the thing. Like pick.
I think I know who you're going with, and I think
because in today's era, you can't really officially list that unless you're choosing somebody from like the last 5 years, but. If you're going to the 90s and stuff, players were listed at certain positions. Although they played.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I mean,
were listed
Larry Bird is definitely a small forward, but my next pick, I'm talking.
Yes.
my next pick I'm talking about, he's a depending what you guys say, it depends on how I pick this next one. So, if it's somebody in the last 5 years, we can kind of like if they play more, it's kind of positionless ball. We can kind of pick where we want to put him, right?
Just say the damn name, man. We'll tell you that.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Anthony Davis. I'm going with this guy because not only does he give you things both on offense and defense, I think at the end of the year we probably haven't even seen his best 5 years statistically in terms of what he brings statistically. So what do you guys? I'm taking Anthony Davis. Are you guys looking at him as a center or as a power forward?
Power forward.
Power forward.
Power forward. Not even a question.
All right. Anthony Davis is who I'm going with my 6th pick.
Okay. Should I didn't even consider him in my
man, neither did I, man. I think you might be looking at it.
But it works though, right? It's last 40 years, it works.
Yeah, man.
Man.
Yeah, it's early though. But yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He's early, but if you look at his numbers, right? He has MVP numbers both for defense and offense. You look at his blocks. You look at his rebounding, his points.
What are they? What are they?
Was he at 26, 27? That's his best year, but
no. You're looking at 24 and 10 right now.
24 in his career. I say best year is probably 26, 27. Yeah, I'm going with Anthony Davis.
Yeah, 24 and 10. Yeah, he can.
That's nice. Yeah,
there's some other powers out there, man.
Well, you know what? I wanted, as I said, I wanted to flip for you guys. You guys are telling me I got to pick this thing.
If you're talking from a fantasy standpoint, Headley, that's a great pick.
Yes. Fantasy, that's what I'm saying. We're talking fantasy. We're not talking reality.
But you know what? I gotta say this though. You statistically, yeah. But if you're gonna look at all statistics, like games played, like an injury prone, he wouldn't be like a guy you would want to draft.
But we're not doing that.
Well, we're doing statistics, right? We're looking at
but we're not talking about injury. We're not talking about injury games.
Oh, but no. We're talking about injury prone.
No, we're not talking about injury. We're talking about his averages.
No,
correct?
Yeah, but I'm saying to you,
all right, thank you.
If we're looking at it if you're looking at it from a fantasy standpoint, if you're looking at all career, like everything, like games played and or whatever stats, whatever you can like. I'm saying I wouldn't choose a guy. I'm saying personally,
okay.
I wouldn't choose a guy who potentially goes down every year.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's all. I'm not.
But it's your squad, so
it's your squad. But I'm saying, like, if I'm choosing an all fantasy team and the guy's injury prone, I don't look at him at the same eyes as somebody who plays.
Well, too bad we're not doing that this time. All right.
Well, I am when I'm choosing my players. No soft players on my squad, man.
And you know what? I'm looking at his stats right now. I mean, the guy's a career 1.5 steals and 2.5 blocks, essentially.
Exactly. When you look at his defense numbers,
yeah,
he gives you some good. He gives you some
great
defense
when he's
numbers.
on the floor. When he's on the floor, he's definitely going to end. His career is going to end as maybe top 5 power forwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so. Yeah,
absolutely.
But
he's
not there now. He's not there now, though.
No, not yet. No, I mean, he's still got time.
No, and this is all time. We're choosing players. This is like not all time.
We said best 5 years.
80s and after.
We said best 5 years.
Yeah, but you're still looking at a smaller game count in those 5 years.
Okay, but still, that's why I asked questions at the beginning,
you
right?
can look at 5 years and guys can play like 30 games, and his numbers will be higher than somebody who plays 5.
Dude, that's why I was asking for a clarification before.
Well, you did get clarification.
No, but
you got 5 years.
No, it's fine because really, when you look at it, like he got drafted in 2012, right? So he's put in 8 years. He's in his 9th year.
This might be his first year where he did not get injured, and I'm shocked. Like he went through the whole bubble and without getting injured. I'm amazed, to be honest.
But you know what? Some of that too, I think some of that is funny. I think some of that is LeBron, because a lot of times you saw every time he went down. You know, when he was with the Hornets, he was like, and he was getting carried off.
Oh, I thought you meant LeBron's,
Oh, what are you talking about, Julian? We don't talk about that on the recording.
LeBron don't go down, man. LeBron does not go down. AD gets to that team, and he does not go down.
I don't even know what you're talking about, Julian. I don't even know.
Training. I'm talking about the training.
No, I
the,
know.
Diet and
vitamins. The diet and the training is world class. It's definitely world class.
Yeah, good pick, Henry. Good pick.
All right.
All right, Randall, you're up next. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with the Black Mamba, man. You know what I mean? Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean? All around, great stats. You know, 25, 5 rebounds per game, almost 5 assists per game. You know, 1.5 steals per game. So it adds in that category. And I didn't even really realize that he was almost at 1.5 threes per game. So he kind of fills the stat liner. I need a 2-guard, and there's not many going to be. It's hard to find a good 2-guard, and a lot of them are taken off the board already. So I'm going to go with him.
What is Kobe's?
A lot of them taken off the board already. There's only one shooting guard taken off the board.
2. What are you talking about?
Who else?
Jordan.
Jordan.
I thought Larry was under a shooting guard, but he's under
he's a small forward. He's a big man. No, I was asking, what is Kobe's career field goal percentage? Just out of curiosity. I don't know.
If I had to guess, let me guess it. I would say 40, 42?
45.
45?
Yeah. I thought it'd be less than that, actually.
Yeah, 45%. Like
That's
roughly
really
around.
great.
It's a roughly
that's actually pretty great.
That's what
I actually takes a lot of shots.
Yes,
it is.
I'm shocked. Turnovers.
The man took 50. The man took 50 shots his last game, man. 50 shots, man. Like, that to me was like, that last game was mind-boggling to me, man.
That's Kobe. That's the way he should have went out. Exactly how he did it.
No, you know what the joke is with that last game? I sat there and I was like, do I watch Kobe's last game or do I watch Golden State try to make history? I went with Golden State.
I did too.
And I missed the Jordan game.
I did too, but I came back and caught like the last, maybe like part of the fourth quarter with him. But go ahead.
You guys decided to watch the Golden State game.
Anthony, we can't see on the screen.
My fault. You decided to go over the Golden State game over Kobe's last game, knowing good and well that boy was not going out like a sucker.
Yeah,
you knew
I already told you it was a mistake, Anthony. Like, what do you want to do? Rub it in
that? But even Cal was over here talking about. He said, "Yeah, I caught that Golden State game."
I did, man. I did. I haven't lost a day of sleep either. I don't regret it. The funny thing is, like, I you know what? Like, I think I was even telling Randall this yesterday. I can't say I was a fan of Golden State. Like, they weren't my favorite team, but I sure watched them like they were though. So like during that time, like Julian, these guys could say I'm a huge fan of Steph, right? From Davidson, from like his freshman year. So when he was riding like that, I was like, I was all in. And with Kobe at that time, I mean, God rest his dead, but at that time, I was just like, at that point in time, I was kind of like, all right, like, I'll come back to it. So when I saw the amount of shots he had, I was just like, man, this man put up 50 shots. It's insane. Man, I'm kind of stalling a little bit because I was hoping I get Kobe. Shoot. So you know what? I'm gonna roll the. I can't even say I'm gonna roll the dice because you guys have taken some of the small forwards that I wanted. So I'm gonna roll the dice here, and I'm gonna say Kevin Durant.
Damn.
I'm gonna say KD. I mean, for all the obvious reasons, but I mean, just looking at the stats here, 27-7 a night, 4 assists. He's giving you almost 40% from 3. Actually, the field goal percentage actually is really good. He's actually, for his career, he's like 49 overall. That's actually really impressive considering the amount of shots he shoots from outside. Right. And he's still giving you a steal and a block every time too, which I think is huge. You know what I mean? So especially from that position. So I'm gonna go with the points. I'm gonna go with the shots. I'm gonna get a lot of threes. You know, I kind of wanted. It's funny. I kind of wanted Larry Bird because I know if we played in this era, you would like the amount of threes he would get would be ridiculous. Yeah. So I was just saying before, like, when it comes to KD, just the threes and the efficiency, man. I can't go wrong. And really after taking him, I think it's. Especially when it comes to efficiency, it gets a little, I shouldn't say dicey, but it does take a little dip. It does go down just a little bit. Anybody want to contest my pick? KD, too young?
No,
not at all.
no.
I was hoping you probably left alone.
Yeah,
that's a good pick.
Yeah, and if this is actually a real live team, actually no, I shouldn't say that. Never mind. All right, go ahead, Anthony. Who's your next pick?
My pick is going to be a 5-man, David Robinson. The numbers he's putting up: 21 and 11 rebounds. What's getting me right now is the fact that obviously the field goal percentage is high out there. The turnover ratio is at 2.4, but the blocks per game is at 3. Steals per game is at 1.4. The assists for a big 2.5, I would say it's pretty decent for a 5-man. But just for the fact that the points, field goals, and rebounds, the numbers are pretty high out there. It's looking good. And the thing is, I actually have another player that I wanted. I wanted to pick ahead of him. But I just thought that the numbers that he was putting up were better, especially for a center position. Field goal obviously is going to be up there for a center, but just the fact that you get the points, the rebounds, but his field goal is a 3-point field goal percentage is not even that bad. I mean, for most bigs, they're not shooting 25%. So again, I'm trying to look at that where my 3-point field goals don't go down.
Nah, and you know what? He's the big that gets kind of forgotten in history too, man. There's another one too. Him and Larry Bird, they're the two guys that get forgotten because in that '90s thing, we always talk about Akeem, we talk about Shaq, Kareem. You know what I mean? He's always fourth on that list of the modern era. But stat wise, that guy was unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Phenomenal athlete as well. Holy smokes! Yeah, and I like that pick actually. That's a good pick. So Julian, who do you got?
All right, so I got back-to-back picks here. So my second pick will be another guard from Team Light Skin. I think you know what this is going to be. We're going with Steph Curry. I don't think there's a lot of explanation that needs to be done here.
Nah.
I don't know who has the most career 3-pointers right now. Is it Steph? Is it Steph? Yeah.
No, but he's gonna pass that.
He's gonna pass it.
Past that by the time it's done. A lot of guys are, but he's gonna go way past that.
So with Steph, you're getting 3 balls, you're getting assists, you're getting points for sure.
What's his career assist?
I think it was 5. Well, let me take a look here.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Draymond's the one that leads that team in assists.
No, his career rebound is 4.5, and his career 6.6. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's got to be up there.
6.6.
And steals per game are 3.6. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow, that's higher than I thought.
No, sorry. Steals per game are 1.7, and threes per game are 3.6.
Oh,
okay, that makes more sense.
I thought it was higher than that. But even though I'm still getting all my categories filled up here pretty much. He even shoots a great free throw percentage. Free throw percentage. We know that. Field goal percentage is at, what are we looking at? Well, his 3-point percentage career-wise is 40%, 43.5%. His field goal is 47, almost 48 if you want to round up.
Yeah.
We'll
round down.
So he's giving me everything that I want from that point guard position, and he is a point guard, right? Are we gonna?
Yeah, no, absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
Right. He's a point guard. Some may argue because he.
No, he's a point guard.
No, he's a point guard, man.
Yeah, that's who I have. So going back around, coming back down. This is to start off the third round, I needed a big, but I wanted a big that can again do a lot of the things across the board. So I don't know. This is a tough pick, but I went with the power forward, and I went with Dirk Nowitzki. Let me tell you why I went with Dirk. I'm figuring when I need my rebounds coming up down in my in the next rounds, I'm gonna fill that up in my next 2 rounds picks. But right now, it's hard to find a big man that can actually put up the 3 ball, get rebounds. Let me tell you some of his career stats. What are we averaging here?
I feel like Anthony wanted him.
No, I didn't. I'm big.
It's-
I'm smiling big because you guys are picking the cats that I'm assuming that you're gonna pick. So I'm trying to get my inner Messiah on, my inner Ujiri on right now. So the more you guys keep picking these players, the more opportunities I have of picking the guys that I know are gonna make this fantasy numbers blow up for me.
Okay, so Fred VanVleet's his next pick. But go on, Julie.
No. So my guy, Big Dirk, he averages 20.7. Well, career-wise, we're looking at right now.
Yeah, but you know what went down the last few years.
Oh, well, the last few years it went down to like 7. I think I'm looking at here.
Yeah.
7.
So you know what 808 at the career
if you look at his first 15 years or his prime 15, you'll see 21, 23, 25, 28, 26 points per game. So, but I just wanted a guy that can do it. That can do it all for a big man and shoot well from the free throw line as well. So, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good pick. I just saw Anthony clutching his head, so I just figured he wanted him, but I didn't know.
There's a lot of good power forwards, though.
There are. That's the strongest position,
right? So, if you look at like career accomplishments, I wouldn't have chosen Dirk this high as a power forward,
right?
Really, right? But if I'm looking at it purely from a fantasy perspective, that can shoot, rebound, block, do it all as much as a power forward could. I don't think there's anybody better than Dirk. That's still left.
Right.
No one better than Dirk in the power forward position, or
that is still left. That's still
left.
As from the cat, like to fill all those categories, 3 balls and all that stuff.
Okay.
That's just pretty.
But we will see. You guys can challenge that. I'm gonna watch your picks and see who your power forwards are. We're gonna see who debated out.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue him. He's an all-time great. He's best international player in history. I mean, I put him second to Hakeem, but you can't argue power forward position, especially when he shoots. You can't. Especially wants threes and all that stuff. It's strong in that category.
And his rebounding was like he never really averaged a double-double. Like I'm looking at his rebounders. He never really averaged 10 rebounds, but it's always 9.9, 9.9, 8.7. So
it's close enough.
Yeah, it's more than close enough for me.
Yeah, and in the playoffs, it was always bigger too. Like he always put up bigger rebounding numbers too. So can't argue. I can't really argue too tough with that. All right, Anthony, who you got as the next pick in the third round?
Before I make this third round pick, I just want to clarify something. For the first pick with LeBron James, you have him listed as a small forward.
Right.
Can we argue that position? I would like to have him put at point guard.
Nope.
Whoa.
Y'all did that to me. Y'all did that to me.
Let me hear it though. I want to hear his argument.
Let's put it this way. Okay, so for starters, LeBron runs offense. Okay, he went from going from Cleveland, where the ball will move through him first. He starts to play, kicks it to the side, screens away, so forth and so forth. Goes to Miami, same thing. Changed it up. Mario Chalmers wasn't running the offense. Let's be real.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But he's listed right now. He's listed as a small forward or a power forward.
He wouldn't even list himself as a point guard. If you would have asked LeBron, he wouldn't even say I'm a point guard.
Nice try.
The Lakers. He was listed as a point guard.
No, it's right here.
As the Lakers, he was listed as a point guard.
Okay,
I'm looking at the fantasy right now. On the fantasy,
he's a small forward, though.
He is.
Man,
Come on,
SF.
you
Anthony.
guys crazy.
Anthony.
So hold
Hey, we're talking
on.
about fantasy. Hey,
Let me ask this question.
Kamish, what is he listed as? I'm
Small
looking at it
forward,
right
man.
On the ESPN or Yahoo, they all list him as small forward.
Yeah.
now.
Even
Basketball
power
reference.
forward.
Oh,
Maybe they make.
Yahoo has him as a SFPF. That's why I
Yeah,
said.
and I just told you that too.
ESPN has him as a SF.
He's
There's no
never been
point guard
listed
in
as a
there at
point
all.
guard
It's just
ever.
No
SF.
PG anywhere. Though
right.
Anthony, I do acknowledge your basketball acumen. You are absolutely correct. But for fantasy purposes, he's an SF.
Look, we're trying to win, so no, you're not getting it.
All right, that's
Ooh.
cool. That's all right. I got one in the bag anyway. So my next pick is gonna be Charles Barkley.
Okay.
With Charles Barkley getting 22 points per game, rounding up 12 rebounds, rounding up 4 assists a game, field goal percentage 54%. Field goal 3-point range 26% might hurt me a bit. His free throw percentage 74. It's gonna hurt me a bit, but I feel like with the players I have coming next, I should be able to round that out. With steals per game, got 1.5, and then with blocks, it's not good, but I'm more so settled on the field goal percentage right now and points per game with the rebounds. He's a beast. And again, we're talking about power forward. He's listed as power forward, but he ain't no power forward though, based on his size. So where are we going with this?
Nah, you power.
He's always played power forward.
He even
He's
covered
always been
five.
called like a 6'5" power forward.
I'm not saying he's not a power forward. He is a power forward. But in the league, position wise, he ain't no power forward. Let's be real. So
What did you just contradicted yourself in the same sentence?
Power forward.
No.
Everyone knows he's a 6'5" power forward.
He is.
Yeah, 6'5".
Dude, you ain't talking to soccer moms over here. You're talking about basketball. You're talking to basketball players.
No, listen.
He's a power forward.
Hold on. My point exactly. So that when we're talking about LeBron James, he's not a point guard. You guys are out of your mind.
But he's listed as a small forward.
So, like I said,
what he's listed as.
So now you're going back to being listed. So if it's not listed, then what?
Charles Barkley's listed as a power forward.
Okay, but that's what I said. I said he is a power forward, but realistically, he's not really a power forward. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I understand what you're trying to say. I fully understand what you're trying to say.
What's that?
What position did he play?
He played the 4 position, but then we're looking at Phoenix now.
He played the 3 too. He could play the 3.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Based on the team he was playing with Phoenix, you had KJ, you had I don't know. I think they had a rookie starting. If
Dumas.
not, I could be wrong. Was that was the young boy, right?
Dumas and I think Sabalos one time too.
That's what I'm saying. Cedric Sabalos, and then you got Dan Marley, then you got Barkley, and then who was the other one that couldn't even make layups? That guy was terrible.
Barkley always played. He was called a 6'4", 6'5". He was a freak. The guy had a vertical, had a stomach, but the guy played power forward.
Fair enough, man. I'm not going to argue the position. I'm just saying if we were coming down playing pickup or playing in the real game, and I had Kevin Garnett and Charles Barkley, and I was like, and they're trying to argue on what position they're playing. Listen, Barkley, you're playing small forward. KG, you're playing power forward. Why? Just a height difference.
Everybody
or you might put KG at the 5 and put Charles at the 4.
KG, man, you love them 2000s, huh?
I'll give you that one.
Positionless basketball. Okay.
Yeah, so when you're looking at the stats, just to go back earlier with Larry Bird, you were saying like you were kind of surprised at the stats. I kind of forgot about Charles' stats, man.
Me too, man.
Holy smokes!
Yeah,
I
when you
looked at it, I
read
was
about
like,
the stats, I was kind of shaking my head like, yo.
I knew they called him the round mound or whatever, rebound, but I didn't know he averaged that amount of rebounds at that height. 12? Like 12 rebounds was his career average or something like that.
And the thing that makes it crazy about Charles too, right? It's like it's not like he had like a 7-foot wingspan. You know, he always said too, like when he dunks, the reason why he used to cup the ball is because he couldn't palm the ball. So you're like, so he didn't have a crazy reach, he didn't have big hands, and yet he still dominated 7-footers. Like it made no sense, you know.
Yo, Calvin, didn't your brother play Charles in college?
No, never did.
Somebody told me a great story about playing Charles Barkley in college, and they were like, and he was kind of like unknown out in Auburn, at least at that age, at that time, and they were surprised how this guy just killed them.
I
remember
remember
he told me that story.
I remember hearing a story with Dominique because they played in the same conference, the SEC. I think Dominique went to Georgia, I think. But when he was at he said when they were warming up, he said the first time he saw Charles Barkley, they were warming up, and he said he saw Charles Barkley in the line warming up. He said him and his teammates were laughing. They're like, "Yo, who's this chubby bastard? You know, shooting around? Is that the warm up guy?" Like they're laughing and stuff. And then they said you know, they do the starting lineups and stuff. And when they went to the circle to do the tip off, and they saw Barkley walk into the circle, they said they busted out laughing on the court because they're like, "Yo, are you guys serious?" And then they said by about halftime, they said they were like, "Yo, what the hell is going on here?" So like he was just that much of a freak. It made no sense. Like he just, but he's known at this stage of his career as being more of like a clown on TV as he is as a fearsome power forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, people that know ball know Charles Barkley was real. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They know he's a real. Anyone that's probably 25 and under probably don't.
Yeah, I mean, to this day, I mean, I still would like to get a pair of Barkleys, man. Like, to this day.
Oh, those Barkleys were sharp though.
Oh man, you got a pair?
They're chunky and heavy as hell, man.
Let me see it. I don't believe you. Let me see it. Where is it? Let me see it.
Oh,
you gotta go to
come through. You get to see him.
Oh, you said in the vault. Okay.
All right, so I'm next. I'll make it. I won't even put no long story to it, man. I'll make it pretty simple. I'm gonna stick with the power forward position. I'm gonna go with Karl Malone. Yeah. Wow. You know, same thing, pretty similar stats. The guy gave you 25 and 10, almost 4 assists a game. He was very efficient. You know, right down to pretty much his end of his career, he was still producing. He's very durable. Like he barely misses any games. He's like y'all know he's a tank. He also gave you like underratedly for the power forward position. He gave you 1.5 steals a game for his career. Like he was great at that. I remember him like always every time a big man would go and try to make a move on he was great at stripping the ball. And he always gave you like a block too at games, like just for his career. But like Karl Malone was a freak, man. Like he was a 6'9" bodybuilder, just like a runaway freight train on a fast break and hit the mid-range shot. You know, he was really good. So, and if you project it to like this era now, like he would probably be able to stick the 3. You know, because he has such a good outside shot. You know, so I'm getting boards. He stuffs the stats pretty well. Like pretty much most of the categories pretty well. And I mean, you know, and it's the 80s, 90s, or whatever. So he wasn't, you know, most power forwards weren't shooting threes, but I mean, he still gave you like 27%. You know, which it's not bad. You know what I mean? Considering like he barely shot threes. So I think that's the great aspect of it too. Any disputes? No.
No. You can't dispute, Carl.
No,
not at all, man. You can't
take on that
stats, anything about him. I didn't like his game, like in terms of his. It just looked. There was nothing smooth about it, except for his jump shot. Don't get me wrong, his jump shot looks smooth, but there's no dispute or argument in terms of what he.
Funny thing is the early Utah days, I enjoyed watching him play. Actually,
he did. I didn't like.
He used to dunk on people like viciously, man. Like it was crazy.
Yo, but
he would run through guys, people man.
By like kneeing people, and with the off arm, forearm in your throat, kind of dunk on people. You know, it didn't look flashy to me, but you know that was the young me looking at the game and looking for flash, right? But I totally respect his game.
Yeah, no. When he was younger, he was dunking on people like crazy, like that's.
I know. I'm saying, man. I know. I agree.
Yeah, and I, you know, what you just talked about is what I see underratedly liked about him too. That he was a big man, like he was vicious.
He was kneeing guys. Don't you remember how he used to dunk? Just come up with a knee in your stern, like and
you do yourself a favor. YouTube him and David Robinson. The way he used to punk David Robinson.
Like, everybody punked David Robinson.
But it wasn't. No, not like that. Not like that. It wasn't right. It wasn't right what he used
Got
to do to Robinson.
posterized a lot, man. Yo, but
No,
Carl,
no, I'm not talking about posterized. I'm talking about the elbows. And there's a clip of him. I remember one time David Robinson went to go. I think he went to go post up David Robinson, and for no reason, this guy threw a vicious elbow right in the man's temple, knocked him out like laid him out on the court.
word?
Laid him out on the court. Yeah, you got to Google that. Like, Google YouTube that. Like, it's insane. Like, the stuff he used to do to David Robinson, just, it wasn't right, man. It wasn't right. Who's the next pick? I think you're next, Randall.
Okay, so for my pick, I'm gonna go with a power forward, and I gotta go with big fundamentals, Tim Duncan. You know, I think that's just a solid pick right now for power forward that's left on the board. You know, got 19 points per game, over 10 rebounds. You know, 2.2 block shots, field goal percentages through the yazoo. Decent free throw percentage as well. So yeah.
Yeah, he on his free throw game towards the end of his career. Like in the beginning, when he first came out, his free throw.
He ended up pretty good in the 70s.
Yeah, but he ended it nicely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't really argue. You can't really.
No,
argue
you
him.
can't argue.
And I think with him too, like his stats, probably just because he was so unselfish. That's the reason why his stats I find they're actually a little low, considering like he to me is like the best power forward ever. You know, but I think because he was so unselfish. You know, like, because I mean, realistically, like that guy in his prime was giving you like 20, 25, and 12 easy. You know what I mean? But once like the Ginobilis and the Parkers came, like he made sure they ate too. You know, so stat wise, fantasy wise, like, yeah, it's definitely, you can't argue the pick. But I feel like it actually could be, he's actually underrated. It could be higher. You know what I mean?
Yeah, agreed.
All right, Headley, who you got?
Thank you guys for leaving this guy out of your, I guess, top 15. Incredible. I'm taking Hakeem Olajuwon as my center.
Yeah.
One of the only guys who's won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. He's a stat stuffer. I mean, this guy runs like a deer, handles like a point guard. He can get just like Anthony Davis, where I think at the end of his career, he statistically wise would be one of the best. He gives you those numbers on the defense end when it comes to steals and blocks as well too. Shoots a good percentage both from the field goal and from the stripe, especially as for a center. I'm elated that he's dropped to the third round where I get him on the snake.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, I was kind of hoping I would get him back. Actually, I was actually kind of hoping it, but you know what? It's every time I think of him and David Robinson in the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah, you just can't like
eat his lunch.
Yo, flashback to the screen. Flashback to the screen. See.
Hey,
Okay.
lunch. I got a question though.
Go ahead.
You talking about eating lunch? Is Hakeem getting? Is AD killing Hakeem?
AD?
Yeah.
Good question. I say no.
That's a good question. I think
Well, you know,
AD versus
I think
Kareem.
AD would.
he would because the game has changed, man.
Game changed, man. I think he would.
AD can put the
You don't think Hakeem could hold? You don't think Hakeem could hold him?
I think he could.
No.
In terms
I
of
personally think
when he
Hakeem can
faces
hold him.
when he if AD faces up on Hakeem, I think it might be difficult. If we're talking about to the post, like but we're talking about back to the basket, to the hoop.
No.
AD can't even do that. So now you got a problem. And then when we're talking about on the opposite side of the floor, where AD is covering Hakeem, the footwork is too nasty.
It's too nasty.
Yeah, Hakeem probably has the best footwork I've seen in the center.
yeah, by far. By
Him
far.
and Kareem for sure.
Actually, I put him in front of Kareem.
Yeah, I would too. And you know what? I would say Hakeem gets him because I mean you're forgetting like Hakeem was like I think he was an all-time shot blocker. The the athleticism at his position, like for a center, he was so fluid. Remember, he like that even with the footwork, he had some of the handles too. Like he would hit you with the step back shot and stuff. So imagine putting him in today's game with that kind of same thing. Like I understand what you're saying, but like I think he would get AD because I think defensively, as great as AD is, at least he's stronger too. Like he's more durable and he's stronger too. You know, what is it like? At least I think he's won at least 2 or 3 defensive player of the years. Like I know he's got at least one for sure, but yeah, like when you just think of the athleticism and just how fluid he was, I would give it. It would be a great battle to watch, though. I'll tell you that. But I would give it to Hakeem.
Mhm.
All right, so you're starting off round 4.
Yeah. So before you guys even start with me, this is for fantasy, not reality. All right. So with this next pick, I already got 3 positions done. I got my front court done with Hakeem, Anthony Davis, and Larry Bird. I mean, I can't. I'm happy with that. Now I got to fill something in the backcourt. We're talking about the last 40 years, and if you look at his best 5 years, averages a triple double. I'm taking Westbrook.
What?
As my point guard. I'm taking Westbrook as my point guard. I'm sorry. Look at the last 5 years, and you look at those numbers. I know he's going to hurt me in my field goal, but I'll be okay. I'm going Westbrook with my point guard.
I heard you with your field goals. You better think about those turnovers too, man.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I knew I'm going to get some criticism with this pick, potentially. That's why I prefaced it the way that I did.
You chose Westbrook.
I'm taking Westbrook as my point guard.
There's some nice point guards. There's some nice point guards out there right now.
Yeah, you're right. And trust me, I've been looking through them.
All right.
I've been looking through them. But I'm sticking with my decision.
Even fantasy wise, that doesn't make any sense. Not even fantasy wise.
Okay.
All right, man.
We'll see. We'll see at the end of the day.
Turnovers.
I know he's gonna hurt me in some positions, but
Even free.
you're walking triple double.
Yeah, field goal percentage, man. That boy can't shoot for nothing.
No.
I can tell you just looking at your roster right now, Headley, in real life, Hakeem Olajuwon is definitely punching him in the face. like 1,000%.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, I you know what? I have a love-hate relationship with Russell Westbrook. I think he's a fascinating athlete. He's a great basketball player, but I know he passes you the ball. If I was a great player, I shouldn't say I was a great player, but like I don't know if I'd play with him, man. I don't know. I think I'd rather play against him. I think the way his career kept going the last few years, where he flamed out in the first round, it's yeah.
We're talking about the best 5 years, though.
I know. But it just rubs me. He just rubs me the wrong way.
Hey, you're right.
Great player, though. Great player.
That's why I had to say. That's why I had to give that speech at the beginning.
Well,
Randall, who do you got?
I'm gonna go with. This is a toss up, but I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna go with Julius Erving.
Ooh.
he was on my list.
I'm gonna go with Julius Erving. So you know what I mean, like 22 points. You know, almost 7 rebounds, 4 assists, two steals per game. You know what's interesting about this is that he has 1.5 blocks per game.
Wow.
So, yeah, I didn't know that. So, yeah, I'm gonna ride with my man. You know what I mean, Dr. J. We'll see what pops off with that. You know what I mean?
One of the smoothest, most classiest guys, ever. Julian, do you think you can play in this era?
Jay? Yeah,
Dr. J?
for sure.
Okay, because I know you have your bias against some certain 80s players.
I do.
So
the game has changed, right? So I don't know how people cannot see has changed. It's faster. A lot of the bigs nowadays, and he's definitely athletic enough to play in this day and age. So that's no question. Right? So I feel he can play in this day and age. No, you can't bring guys from the 70s and stuff like that to play with these guys today in any sport.
Yeah, it's tough because it's tough because I mean, again, like I understand what you're saying, but when you break down some of these guys' games and stuff, like because sometimes I'll watch these like '70s games and just the fundamental skills and stuff, I'm like, nah, they can play in this era still. Like the great ones, I can't say all of them, but I'm like some of the great players, like a Clyde Frazier, for example, like a John Havlicek. When you watch these guys,
Listen,
you're like fundamentals. You're like, nah, they can.
I think these guys can
still
play.
go.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I
They
think
will
they
still go and
play
still
in this
be
era, but they
really
won't
bad.
have that same impact that they had in their own era. That's what I'm like arguing about.
Mm.
Won't be better than the players than in this era in terms of the impact because the game is different.
Right, but at the same time, you put them in this era too, with the type of training and all that stuff too. You know,
Yeah, that's my point. I
think they can come out being great too.
That's part of my point, man. Like that's just not evolution. Yeah, that's just evolution. You know, you players are growing. They're aging faster. They're learning faster. They have the skill sets. I was just talking to Joel, my brother, and he's telling me how he's training these young guys, and he goes, "These guys are doing things that I could never have done at that age." Kids are starting younger, and it's just a different era.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Would James Harden be able to handle 90s basketball?
Handle? What do you mean? Like define handle?
Meaning the way he cooks people, the way he cooks now, would he be cooking in the 90s?
The answer is no.
Thank you.
James Harden would not be doing what he's doing now in the 90s. Hell no.
Okay, but before I give my reason, do you see some of the guys that Jordan was cooking, like guys that were guarding Jordan? Like, I don't mean like the Dumars and all that. I mean like just your regular.
Yeah.
You see the lateral quickness of these guys back in those guys, and I don't want to say anything about like race or anything, but like
they're white guys.
Harden would be cooking these guys. I'm telling you, he would be. Now the only reason why I'm hesitant because the physicality, like the Lambeers and them guys would not allow it.
But it's that hand check too, man. The hand check slows you down, right? So you have to get. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yo, Julian, all you have to see.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
All you have to do is see what Harden does in the playoffs, and that's what 90s ball is throughout the season. And you can, and that's why I know he would not survive in 90s ball.
Well, the question wasn't survive. The question was, would he be able to cook guys in the 90s?
It's still a no. You want to know why? Because majority of his points seem to be coming from the free throw line. If he ain't shooting threes, he's shooting free throws. And if the 90s ball ain't about the whistle, he's almost.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
That's a good point.
That's a good point.
So size-wise, physicality, because James Harden's a thick dude. I think he can handle the physicality. I don't think I'm too worried about him with that aspect.
Yeah,
he's kind of soft on the whistle.
It's the mental I'm talking about. I'm not saying that he can't take the hits. It's the mental.
I honestly, like, if he can't cook nobody in the 90s, nobody can from this era. That's all I'm going to say. Curry, nobody can. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to just leave it at that. Because average player, I would say, yeah, you're right. But you're talking Harden, who to me is one of the best ISO players ever in the history of the game. And
tell me tell me what's so special about his ISO move, anyways. Other than his travel, other than his side step travel. Tell me what like Harden, obviously. No. Actually, I have no problem with Harden. But my thing is, there's he don't. You don't like his ISO game. You don't think he has an ISO game? Well, for one, for you to hold the ball for 20 seconds out of the shot clock, I think that's ridiculous.
I agree. I'm not arguing that. I'm saying, do you believe that?
Yeah.
I believe you. I agree with you.
The offense is dedicated on him doing that. That's different, right?
But now think about it. But think about it. So Harden, he starts off with he'll hit you with the 1-2 dribble, and basically how he tries to get you is he's trying to get you on your heels. And if you don't bite, he gets you with the hezzy. If you don't bite for that, then he takes off going to the left. The only side he seems to love to go to, and he might as well count his blessing for Greg Popovich because he basically got him to practice the floating game. That the defensive scheme that the Spurs put on him in the playoffs, he had to develop that floating game. But if you really think about it, Harden only does two things, and he's either going to try to break you down to the top of the key and shoot a three, and usually results in a step back. Now, mind you, his handles are nasty, so he can get you on your heels. The thing is, if you get a disciplined defender, then he's gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
And
Yo, Anthony, you made a good point. Julian, let me ask you: do you think his moves would be a violation in the 90s?
Oh, 100%. But you know what?
Okay.
I think the Jordan era is when the actual carry started to be like allowed. Like, I think that's when it started. Now
I would say before that, because
right now it's a new level. What, the carrying the ball was before that?
I would say a little bit before that too. Because
They're actually patting the ball in the 60s.
I know, but I'm saying like Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas would tell you that he would sometimes carry the ball and stuff.
No, I know that, but it's not to the level that we're seeing today. These the Hezzies are like second, like they're like going across the body, and it's allowed. It's not calling anything. So it is at its worst moment today, to me, in my eyes, anyhow. I think it started. The trend started to become bad or worse from the Jordan era.
Yeah,
it was carrying before that too as well. But anyhow, I don't know how you guys can't respect Harden's isolation game. I don't like his game because I for one don't think you can win a championship with Harden. That's me personally. I don't like his overall game. But when you're talking about isolation ball, dribble drive, just handles and scoring, he's got to be in the top 3 of all time.
Well, the thing is
scoring the ball. That's it. Not winning, nothing else.
I think the question was, would he cook the same way?
Yes.
So he's averaging 35?
No, I know.
Negative.
I'm just saying
no way in hell.
Cooking guys on ISO every game in the 90s.
I'm pretty sure Anthony asked, would he be cooking the same way if it was in the 90s?
As of today, like what do you mean, like how he's doing today?
Correct.
He get beat the fuck up in the 90s.
Nah, there's no way.
That's what I said. The only thing that is different is the physicality.
So, imagine Harden playing the Pistons.
That's what I said.
Nah, he's done. He's done. The first quarter.
Imagine Harden playing Alvin Robertson back in the day,
or the X-Men, or Anthony Mason.
So we're not saying he's not going to get hit. We're not saying he won't be an all-star, but he's not cooking the same way.
But he will be cooking though. Yes.
Nah.
Yeah,
not the same way though. Not the same way. Not the same way.
Of course, he's going to catch dudes, but he's not going to go off like he was going off on a regular basis. Because after he starts kicking dudes, he's going to have to start shooting threes. Because, like Anthony said, whistles.
Julian, let me ask you this: Could Larry Bird play in this NBA?
Yes.
Okay.
Any of those stars can play.
I'm just making sure. I'm just
asking
Julian.
But if you're asking me like the average player, like give me an average player in the 80s.
We're not talking average players. We're talking.
No, but I'm saying average players in this era can play in that era.
I'll definitely give you I'll give you this.
Van Vliet can play in that era.
I'll give you this much. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but definitely when you start looking at the 12th, 11th, and 13th man on the bench, some of those guys they look like YMCA guys.
Who today?
No, back in the day.
Yo, some of these stars, man.
I
were like the Craig Elos, and like they were actually great basketball players in those eras. Those guys were great, like that kind of tier level. Those guys will not be that great in this era.
You know what's funny, Julian? Before I select my pick, you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Before I select my pick, so and you, I don't know. I feel like you should be familiar with this, being that you're a Scarborough guy. But when I just moved to Toronto, Andrew Wiggins' father, Mitchell Wiggins, he had just retired from the league, and he used to play at the Scarborough Y, especially all the time. And this guy was in his 40s, and he was a pretty good NBA player before he ended up getting banned and played overseas and stuff. But let me tell you, man, and especially back in those mid-90s, there was some ballers that used to come through there, guys who played pro, different things, and man, he used to cook everybody, man, everybody. And he wasn't a star, and he played in the 80s, but that guy used to cook all of us, high school ballers, college guys. pro league guys, like just the fundamentals and the efficiency of how he got his footwork. I'm like,
The guy's an NBA player.
but that's what I'm saying. So when I'm saying like he can
guys
play,
like you at the Y. What do you want?
no, but what I'm saying is like if it like somebody like him, could he play in this era now? I'd say hell yeah.
Yeah, they can all play in this era. Like I'm just saying, like when
it'd
you're
be easier for a guy like
question,
him.
I'm looking at it like, would he be at that same type of all-star superstar level in this era? I'm not saying would they be able to play. I said yes to all your questions. I said yes, I can still play. I never said no to any of them. But they ain't gonna be like no, like I said, like they're not gonna be that superstar. It's a different era. I don't know how.
It's a different time.
I'm sorry.
It's almost like a different sport.
Yeah, honestly. And it's even hard to compare, like because the game was slower back then, man. More physical.
The analytics of the 3-point shots, it just makes it crazy.
Not only that, just the athleticism now today versus back then.
Yeah, no, for sure.
All right,
I'll make Headley mute. You can't. Okay, you can't hear.
Who took Steph again?
I did.
Okay.
All right.
2000s.
So my next pick is going to be quick and easy. There's going to be little explanation. I'm going to take a beating in this category, but I'm looking at who's left out of some of these great players. Mm-hmm. And I think I got to do it just for the rebounds, the points. Actually, you know what? Let me not do it. Hold on.
Nah, do it, man. Do it.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Let me check this category one more time. You know what? I'm gonna go with Shaq.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. You get him. Get him.
Shut up, Anthony. I know you knocking it.
You might as well choose Westbrook as well, Calvin.
Was that?
Whoa.
You might as well choose Westbrook at the same time.
Calm down. Take it easy.
He's not bad. Westbrook.
Take it easy.
Westbrook puts up more numbers than Shaq. Get off it.
Whoa.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
Numbers.
Yes, he does.
I don't know about that.
Take it easy.
No,
Shaq
got some good stats if you talk about fantasy. Shaq hurts you with free throws.
Yeah, he hurts you with free throws, but like the rebounding, the field goal percentage, the points, like it's crazy. Even the blocks.
Rebounds. What's his rebound career numbers?
I think it's about 11 a game.
Really?
Yeah, which should be higher actually.
Should be higher than that. That's what I'm saying.
It should be higher, but even blocks, even blocks.
What's his blocks?
Career is 2.3.
Okay.
For his career, you know what I mean?
I gotta put more respect on his name. Then.
Yeah, you gotta put more respect on Shaq's name, dog.
All right, go ahead.
Like I said, the beating you take is the free throws. Like you're just gonna have to like eat the cost, you know.
Yeah.
But
and the thing about it, he took a lot of free throws, so he really can.
He really did.
He really weighs that down.
He really did. He really did. But especially when you get into like early Laker days and stuff, or like when they were winning them titles, like that was, you know, he was just an absolute. He was Godzilla.
How's your squad? Put up your squad. I want to see your squad as a free throw percentage right now. Shaq addition. You got good free throw shooters, and I can't be mad at this.
Yeah, I got good free throw shooting. Durant and Magic basically carry it for me because they're like 80-something% for their career, so it's pretty.
Yeah, easy. But you guys want to talk about my point guard and his shooting. When you look who I have in front of him, I got Hakeem, I got Davis, and I got Bird. Come on now.
He said, "Come on now." You put Davis before Elijah one though. Come on now. You put Davis before Elijah one though.
Yeah, you had some questions.
Come on.
I put Davis in front of Elijah one.
You drafted him before Elijah one.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm talking about the best 5 years, and I honestly, at the end of the career, at the end of Davis's career, we're going to be talking about him statistically wise as one of the best statistics out there.
As long as he stays healthy.
Yeah. You're right.
Because there's always that with him. You know what I mean?
Right.
2 ply is always better though.
And don't forget, both those guys give you numbers on the defense too.
Charmin toilet paper.
Oh shit!
That man, he's forever going. You can blow on that cat, he will go fly away, man.
As I said,
Send me
this
to
is
the
his
back
first
real
Hey,
year.
Calvin, can you mute Anthony's mic?
All right, Anthony, you got next.
So, being that you guys are all haters and don't want to let me get LeBron as a point guard, I'm gonna have to go ahead and scoop up John Stockton.
Damn.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I wanted him.
And the crazy thing is, you probably would have got him if y'all would have just said LeBron could be considered a point guard. I mean, for this, basically, I'm not really too worried about points because I'm getting that from my other three.
Yeah.
But in terms of assists, rounding up,
Steals.
11 assists a game. You got field goal percentage 51 or 52%. Field goal
Damn,
from
he
three,
shot that good?
30,
Yeah.
yeah, 38% from three. Free throws, he's looking at 82% or 83%.
How many threes did he shoot?
I'm not too sure how many threes he shot. Hold on real quick. Let me check this out.
He's about 38% for his career.
I know, 38, but
Yeah,
I'm
but-
starting to wonder,
Oh, like how
many,
much? Like how much he did?
Yeah, how many
It
did he
couldn't-
shoot? Like 2 a game kind of thing?
I mean, yeah, you're probably looking at that. Yeah, he's looking at about 1.5 per game.
1.5 per game.
Attempts.
That's
Yeah,
definitely
so like
inflated in
one
this
make
era.
a game? Or like less than a make a game? Okay.
No, but that definitely, put him in this era now. He's making at least about 3 or 4 a night easy. He was a great shooter.
Mm-hmm.
He was a great shooter.
But he was a great shooter, but he didn't take contested threes though.
Sometimes he did. Hell, he was unselfish to a T. You know what I mean?
No, you're right. He was unselfish.
Yeah.
You're right. But
was
he
really-
didn't take a lot of contested three when I saw his game. But he's good. I'm not going to fault him on that point guard pick at all.
The one thing I remember him back in the day that he was great at was on the fast break, the pull up three. Like he was one of the first guys I used to see that used to like come down on the fast break and just hit you with that three. And he
true.
usually made that shit like easy.
That's true.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, he's a dream teamer. Who can knock that?
Yeah, you're right.
All right, Julian, you're up next.
All right. So, I need a big man. And when I pulled up this big man stats, I was amazed. I think after looking up his stats now, like he needs more respect. Not just from you guys. From the
Well, I can't wait to crap on this now. Let's go.
I wish I can just pull up like
He's
I don't
gonna say Valanciunas. He's a Raptors guy. He's gonna say Valanciunas.
I want, before I tell you this person's name, if I'm looking at his stats from 1980 to 1990, okay, those 10 years, the man, I'm looking at it. I'm just taking a guess here. I'm looking at the averages. He averaged about 25 and 13, 25 points and 13 rebounds in those 10 years in the 80s.
I think I know who it is.
Oh,
He shot the free throw ball pretty nicely too in the high 70s for a big man.
I know who it is.
I
The
forgot.
blocks, almost a block per game in the 80s. Now I'm just looking at 80 to 90. I'm shocked. I never knew any of this until now. Moses Malone.
I forgot about him.
I know. I was gonna
I
pick him
forgot
up.
about
What position is he now?
He's center.
He's a center.
He's a center.
I thought he was a power forward.
No, he's a center.
No, he's a center. Moses
Center.
Malone. Don't ever disrespect Moses Malone.
See,
if
the
you guys
thing
can
is,
pull up, whenever you guys get a chance, pull up his career stats.
No, it's amazing. I forgot about him.
Oh,
Actually,
my
I forgot
goodness.
about him.
hey, not me though. He was originally going to be my first pick,
Really?
but the reason the reason why I didn't want to pick him though is because that 3-point percentage is oh my gosh, it's
3-point?
The 3-point percentage, because you gotta consider the percentage.
But that's a big man. I'm not worried about that 3-point.
But I know, but if you're talking about other bigs that can give you decent numbers
True,
in that
fair
category,
Yes.
you would have to put them in front before picking up most.
But
Now,
there's not many fives that can really get you that 3-point ball right now.
no, you're right.
The list
No, you're right.
now, right?
Absolutely, but the numbers that he puts up, there's people that put up at least they're not put up maybe the same numbers, but similar to what he's putting up. But then they're doing better in other categories that'll help you out with the fantasy aspect.
Fair enough.
No, that's a great pick. I
On
totally
my team,
forgot about
I
him.
needed rebounds.
What was his stats? Wriggle up.
Oh. Man, listen. Well, I'm just looking at between the 11 years from 1979 to 91, and after 91, it drops dramatically.
Yeah, because he was old at that point.
Yeah,
Real old.
obviously. But you gotta
career
look
looking
at,
at
if you get a chance, look at this. Like it's unbelievable. Man.
I'm gonna do it right now, real quick, because I have
Look at the
basketball
80s.
reference up.
career. You got him at 20, 12 boards, 1.3 assists, 49 or 50% field goals, 9.6 for 3-point field goals, but that's fine. Free throws 76%, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
With the block game, he's looking at 1.3 blocks, steals at 0.8. He's got some solid numbers. He's solid. And then, but I see that stretch you're talking about though. That 25.8, 27.8, 31.1, 24.5.
Yeah,
And those are
24.
season numbers, not like a week.
Yeah.
That's like the whole season. I never knew until now.
and you know what? I'm just taking a look at this.
I'm embarrassed.
You know what? He was a 3-time MVP, and when you look at those years from like 78 to 83. Like 1 year he averaged 25 and 17 or 25 and 18. The next year 26 and 14, 28 and 15, 31 and 15 in the second MVP. Then the third MVP when he joined Philly was 24 and 15. Like, I that's a great pick.
That's a great stretch. That might be one of the best stretch of 10 years, like a decade.
No, absolutely, and he gets
in
forgotten.
The history.
Nobody talks about him when they talk about big men. They never mention him, but he cooked everybody and he bullied guys on the boards.
I remember those stats or those clips.
Yeah, it was out of control.
Anyhow, so that's who I got. I wanted.
That's a great pick. That's a great pick. I'd even have him on my list, which is shame on me. All right, so you're the first pick of the 5th round.
Now, I need a small forward, but I'm not going to choose a small forward right now because to me, all the small forwards that are left are not worthy to be picks, to be honest with you. That's just me. I don't know. Do all you guys have your small forwards already? Wait, one, two. LeBron, Durant, Irvin. Yeah, Bird. It's just me. Oh, I was going to choose Julius Irving too, on that pick, but
I don't know. I think there's a couple of guys that could be on this list.
Not to the levels what you guys have. I think you guys got the top 4.
Yeah.
To me, fantasy was. But so I'm gonna pick a guy for my flex position, and he's probably hated by a lot, particularly by Anthony. And still choose him anyhow. He has the best ISO game ever.
This guy!
Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm just putting his name down.
You just gotta put him down. You have to. Now, outside of his team play. His game, his personal game of ISO ball and all that, not playing defense, fantasy-wise, he puts up numbers. And there's no one can argue of what he can do fantasy-wise. I haven't even... What? Flex? He's a shooting guard, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's your flex position.
Yeah, sorry. Here. Sorry, yeah. So, statistically-wise in points, I don't think anybody's going to be beating me in any matchup with points with Jordan and Curry and Harden here. Or threes. I don't think any of you guys are going to be threes. Assists, yeah, you guys can beat me. But anyhow, I think I just chose the best player in terms of stat-wise that was left on the board for me personally.
Okay, I mean,
I'm going to choose a small forward, but I don't like any small forwards left, and I don't know what you see, Calvin, but I'm going to choose a small forward later on in my rounds.
Well, I got KD, so I'm fine.
Yeah, you're good. You guys are good. Yeah. I like all your small forwards.
I see a small forward in the flex that could work, but
you got to wait. Hopefully doesn't get picked up.
Probably won't.
I don't think he's gonna get picked. He's gonna probably give me my last pick because I have the last pick of the draft.
There's not many small forwards out there like that were like perennial like all-time greats, other than LeBron, KD. And Bird. I don't think anybody like I never realized until now we're looking at the history of the game of small forwards.
Yeah, there's some guys that have like they're probably almost on that level, but injuries. I won't mention the names, but I'll see if anybody picks them. But injuries and certain things is what's kind of like knocks them off a little bit. But sorry, Julie. Yeah, sorry. I think your screen is out.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I'm frozen 1 second.
Okay, Anthony, who's your next pick? for round number 5?
My next pick, I need a shooting guard. So I got Reggie Miller.
Reggie Miller, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you lacking threes on your team? Who? Cap, let me see.
I am.
You
I
are?
am.
He is. He is.
So that's I feel that I went heavy with the rebounds and points and field goal percentage. I'm lacking assists for sure, but see if I can make that up somewhere. But I can start looking at threes and then try to balance out that 3-point percentage with Reggie Miller shooting 47 in field goals and 3-point field goals, looking at 40% by itself. A shocking one is Reggie actually got 1.1 steals per game.
That's pretty good.
I didn't think he was even getting a steal game, but he got that. Turnovers at 1.7. For someone that was heavily used, mind you, wasn't really ball handling a lot. He didn't do too bad. So it's just one of those things I'm kind of sliding in.
The thing that scares me about Reggie Miller and guys like him is just like they weren't stat stuffers. So when you drafted like guys like, I'm not saying him specifically, but guys like him, it was like if they weren't scoring, they weren't doing much else for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see why Anthony went with him because he's lacking the threes.
Absolutely.
What are we in the 5th round now?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fifth flex. I mean, I guess still a little higher, but yeah, I mean, right now, I guess now you get into the nitty gritty and stuff. I guess.
Well, I actually wanted to pick him in the next one, but I made the switch, so hopefully my next guy doesn't get picked up. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with this guy here who looking at the stats, some people might be surprised with this, but again, fantasy based. I'm gonna go a little old school here. I'm taking Clyde Drexler.
Nice.
I'm taking Clyde Drexler, man.
Yeah. I was looking at him too.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed
I was looking at him before, but what does Clyde add other than, maybe a decent field goal percentage? How was his threes? He didn't get. What was his assist like? I know his rebounds were around 6.
He was balanced.
He was balanced, man. His assists, he averaged 6 boards, about 5.5 assists.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then even his field, you look at his field goal percentage and his 47 for his career.
Yeah, I knew that.
The 3-point percentage. I mean, again, you're going back to the 80s and 90s, but it was 32%. Which again, you put that in today's era, that's probably going up a few points. And then he's giving you good free throw percentage. He averaged 2 steals a game for his career. He's giving you almost about a block. I mean, and he's one of the great 2 guards ever. We don't talk about him a lot, but he's one of the great 2 guards ever, man. Like in terms of just overall stat stuffing, I mean, you're hard pressed to find a better 2 guard out of than more all around than outside of Jordan and Kobe, of course. But
right,
I'm not saying he's the 3rd best shooting guard ever, but just in terms of fantasy stat stuffing, like, yeah, I'm okay with that.
No, that's a good pickup. I mean, I'm not mad at it.
Nah. Okay, Randall, who's your next one?
I need a PG, so I'm kind of right now I'm looking at what's available on the board. There's a lot right now, but there's one that's sticking out to me fantasy wise. That just seems balanced. It's not. This is a sure shot kind of pick to me, and it's Chris Paul.
Okay.
Because Chris Paul, he's averaging 18.5 points a game, just under 10 assists per game, just under 5 rebounds per game, over 2 steals per game, and a 1.3 assists, and all his field goal percentages are decent. So it's not like the flashy pick right now, but if I'm going safe, what I need, he rounds off my roster for my point guard right now.
And you can't go wrong with Chris Paul. I think there's a lot of point guard depth out there to choose from. So you can't go wrong with any of the guys that are out there.
Yeah.
No, Chris Paul's a great pick.
But is his numbers? I'm wondering. Sorry. I'm wondering if his numbers are better than a couple of other point guards that I'm thinking of in my head. And I don't want to say their names, but I don't know. I'm sure you might have. I don't know if you looked them up, but is it better than a couple of these other guys I'm thinking of?
They're all comparable, right?
Yeah,
So what I'm looking at right now is sometimes you got to suffer in fantasy. Sometimes you got to suffer in a certain category, but you know you're going to crush it in others. So I know right now, looking at my roster, my threes is not the best, but it's a wash. I'm not going to catch up on threes, so I'm okay with having decent threes. But I know right now, based on what I have, I'll make up on everything else. So if I start trying to, like for example, I don't want to name names, but there's certain point guards I was like, I take this, but I'm just taking it because they have a better three. All around, he was the sure shot, safest bet for my roster. Right?
Yeah. Can't go wrong. Yep, can't go wrong. I'm not arguing.
18-9. Headley, you mute. Headley, I got you on mute again.
And like you said, Julian, there's a lot of depth at the PG level.
Whoa, there's a lot. I'm looking at it.
I know, but what I'm trying to ask, Randall, what were you looking at? I think Chris Paul's best attribute is his intangibles, which is not statistic wise. So, what was it about Chris Paul that you needed that you think you got with this pick?
His stats. I needed assists. I needed assists. He was balanced with rebounds. His field goal percentage was decent, and he gave me steals and threes. He has 2.2 steals per game. Average
steals is what
I give you. Yeah, I give you the steals.
So if you're saying, there's all these point guards out there, what point something and assists is not going to make a difference, right? You're saying rebounds, he was probably up there with all the other guards. There's other guards I could have taken, but field goal percentage wise, their field goal percentage would have pulled me down.
And you know what?
It's field goal percentage it's one of the best.
Yeah.
And you know what? Yeah,
let me look at Randall's team.
But you're looking at his stats, like 47 for the field, 37 from three, 87 from the line. It's efficient, man. It's really good stats.
It's an efficient pick. Like I could go like those other points.
Hey, you know what it is? We're in fifth round, so I don't think anything's gonna be crazy when we come to this round now. Anyways, right? So
no big. Yeah. It's just a matter of look. You looking for something
filling out.
I was looking at balanced stats of what I have. I could have got someone else, but I know I could pick up someone in the next couple rounds that will help anyway. Like if I wanted, so I'm good.
Okay.
All right, let me get my picks out.
All right, go ahead.
So, doesn't make a difference. I'm missing a shooting guard, and I got flex players, right? So it really doesn't make a difference who comes first. So I'll just say my two picks, and I'll tell you the reason why. The first one would be Ray Allen.
I knew I should have picked him. Damn it, that was the one too.
You know what? It's funny because when you said Reggie, to me, I was like, it's either going to be Reggie or Ray Allen. But I'm happy that you went with Reggie because I think Ray Allen, when you look at his statistics overall, and it's better than Reggie Miller. So I think you made a mistake going with Reggie before Ray. Sorry, Anthony. And then my next pick is going to be Scottie Pippen. He was when you talk about point forwards or point forwards.
I had him Headley.
It was Scottie Pippen. That was Scottie Pippen's role. When you talk about staff stuffer, both on the offense and the defense, man, look at my squad guys, man.
No.
I got Anthony Davis, Hakeem Olajuwon, and I got Scottie Pippen, Larry Bird, and Westbrook. I get points in all categories with these guys. And then you give me one of the best time 3-pointers of all time with Reggie, with Ray Allen. I mean, man, guys, just give me the crown right now. And
you really went with Scottie Pippen now, though. That's surprising.
Why?
Because his numbers are not like I think there's like if you're looking because it's a flex now. You can put anybody in this category.
No, but look at his numbers from 80. I was looking at it. I think it's from 82 onwards. His best 6 years. Or sorry, 92 onwards. His best 6 years. His numbers are nice, man. His numbers are nice.
I looked at him and I was like, okay.
And he stuffs it. And you think about offense, defense. Anyways, that's my two picks. I don't know. Yeah, you put Ray Allen and Scottie. Those are my picks for my snakes.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Scottie in terms of this stats, like fantasy wise.
Look at his stats, son. Look at from 92.
Especially not in the small forwards.
Look at his best 6 years.
it's a big drop off from LeBron and KD.
It's a 6th round. We're only going 7 rounds deep.
No, I'm saying in the small forward position. There's guys there's guys that are available to have better stats than Scottie Pippen right now. I'm telling you that right now.
Okay.
But in the small forward position, I could have chosen Scottie. I thought about Scottie. I was like, no way, I got to choose Harden over Scottie. Pippen, for example, I had to.
June, you still need a small forward?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Good luck.
I said that. That's what I said. I'm not choosing until the last.
Look, if you need a trade.
There's nobody on my. You have no. Scottie Pippen couldn't even fit on my squad in the 10th round.
Get the fuck. Sorry. Get out of here.
Come on, Jordan, Steph, Dirk, Moses, Harden.
Get out of here. Let me see who you're gonna pick. Let me see who you're gonna pick out 6 and 7.
You'll see.
Randall, who you got next?
Yo, I'm gonna go.
Go Chris Webber.
I'm gonna go with Steve Nash.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were gonna go with, Randall.
Yeah, but see what I'm saying, Julie? I figured no one was gonna pick him up, so I said let me get because I wanted to get some balance in there. So now I was hoping no one picked him up. So now I got Steve Nash as a flex.
That's what I thought for sure would have been.
I would have taken Steve Nash before Chris Paul too.
Yeah. That's what I was like questioning. I was like, whoa. Well, it's not whoa because Chris Paul is still a good pick, but I thought Nash had the better numbers and a better fit for your team right now.
Yeah. So I mean,
it's a good pick.
You said it all, Julian. for me right now, I know what you're saying right now. I just felt like it was more eye popping looking at not eye popping. I was really impressed with Paul's numbers, man. I thought on the low, there's just some tangibles in there. Like I think he had more threes than Steve too. Now I'm thinking about it, and I mean Steve has a better 3-point percentage. He had higher assists per game and a higher points per game. So I don't know.
They're both good picks. So you got two good point guards. So
I'm flirting between a couple of guys here. I'm trying to figure it out. I mean, now this is like the flex time, but I'm toggling back and forth between a few guys, but I'm leaning towards taking Dominique Wilkins, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Really? Because he's not really a stat stuffer.
You know what? You look back at the stats. You're looking back at the stats here. He gave you essentially 25 a night for his career, almost 7 boards. The assist is where, he's not going to give you a ton of assists. He's like 2.5, but he was pretty efficient for his career, 46% throughout.
What's his three ball? Did he? Shoot
it was about.
It wasn't that great.
He was like 32%. Again, representative of the era.
But let me see your squad. Let me see your squad.
Yeah, I'll pull it up in just a second. And
he didn't shoot the 3 ball.
But he was still shot at like 32%, which again back then was not like it's not like it's kind of comparable.
Well, when I meant like the number of threes made.
I'm not sure about that amount, but and then he for his career he averaged about 1.3 steals a night for his career too, which is pretty good. I know he's not the quote unquote defender, but I feel like Dominique is I want to go with Nick here on this one.
Just for the record, Nick was my favorite player growing up.
Calvin, you have so much points already, though, man.
Yeah, I know. Ain't nobody catching me in points.
That's what I'm saying.
And the thing with me is though, what I like is because I drafted Magic, kind of carries, especially from that point guard position, carries so much stuff, right? The assist, all that, So
you got no assist though, Calvin.
What are you talking about? I got Magic.
Magic.
One guy. Durant. How much? That's just Durant gives. Durant about 4.
Calvin, you chasing points when you didn't need any more points. That's the point I'm trying to tell you.
Right, but I think assist. I'm not that bad. I don't think I'm that bad.
You are, Calvin. What are you talking about?
Clyde Drexler about 5, almost 6 for his career. Kevin Durant about 5 for his career. Clyde Drexler averaged 5.6 for his career.
Right, you rounded up very high. 5.
It's 5.6. Okay. I didn't round it. I was 5.6.
Oh, I thought you said 6.
No, I said 5.6.
Okay.
And Durant gave you, how much did Durant give you? 4. He gave you about 4.1.
That's still not enough. I'm
getting about 11 a night from Magic.
You got LeBron here, Stockton on one team. You got Curry and Harden and Jordan on one. You got Paul Nash on another, and then you got Westbrook, and Henley, you don't got no assists either.
What are you talking? What about Scottie Pippen? What are you talking about?
What is he at? Scottie averages how many assists?
Look at sorry.
Compared to like Nash or Paul or
It's better than Calvin's squad. I can tell you that.
not much better.
Y'all acted like I got no assist. Period. What are you all talking about, man?
Okay.
No, you have assists, but to compare with the rest of the four of the teams.
Yeah, I mean it's a category fight. If I'm a little lower than one, it's okay. I can make it up for maybe with my last.
Does everybody have 2 point guards? Who has 2 point guards? Calvin has 2 point. I mean, Randall has 2 point guards. Who else got 2?
No.
It's only Randall, right?
No, but like as we talk about, Anthony said, like LeBron is like a point guard, so he gets.
Yeah, true. Okay, fine.
So you're looking at the designation. I'm looking at guys that put up assist numbers.
Yeah, well, so does Scottie Pippen. He puts up assist numbers, but yeah, you're right.
No, he does not put it up like these other guys.
Let me pull it up.
He got 5 assists. Career wise, he got 5 assists a game.
No, but look, if you look at it,
that's like Kobe. That's like regular numbers.
Look at his best 6 years. That's what I'm telling you. We talked about this. We said
what is it?
5 years.
What is it?
I'll pull it up right now again.
It's not. It can't be more than 6.
But 5.2 for his career is less than Clyde's.
Yo, why are you looking at career? We're looking at the best 5 years. That's what we said.
We're looking at everything at the same time. Most of us.
Yo,
like,
Julian,
top 5
you said
and
yourself,
career.
you're looking at their peaks, and we said 5 years.
I did say that.
Okay,
But at the same time, I'm
What
looking
are you
at the
changing
career.
it now? No, you want to change the narrative now?
No, I'm not changing. I said I'm looking at the career as well, but more importantly, I'm looking at the top 5, 10 years.
All right, you're talking diarrhea right now.
No, because
You really are.
Listen, because you can look at anybody's top 5 years and then say, okay, this guy's top 5 years, and then put him in.
That's what we talked about. We said the first 5 years. That's what we based it on.
But 100%. But at the same time, I'm looking at the career too, because somebody could have a good 5 years, and then like Bargnani might have had a good 5 years. For goodness sake, I'm not putting them in.
Man, you love the raps. Damn.
Is anybody in here from Toronto?
I mean,
born and raised.
You're actually the only one.
No, he's not. I was born in Toronto.
You're born in Toronto? Oh, I just assumed Seattle. I thought.
Nah, I left when I was 10. But
okay. I thought
I'm a diehard Toronto fan for sure.
But Bargnani though.
No, I was mentioning it as to prove my point. He probably had a good 5 years, but I would not put him anywhere near here or compare him to somebody else who had a career like Magic or LeBron or whatever. And that's what Henley's doing. He's looking at 5 years only, right? Which is fine, but I'm looking at me personally, the top 5 and his career.
You make it sound like I'm putting guys who are not Hall of Famers. I'm not putting Bargnani up on this list. Like, come on now.
No. But you're saying Scottie Pippen. Scottie
Pippen is not one of the best all times.
You could have chose another player ahead of Scottie Pippen in that spot. That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough.
Of course you could have.
Okay, that's your opinion.
As a flex, though.
That's what I'm saying.
You can pick anybody in the flex. Anybody. There's nobody better than Scottie Pippen.
I'm saying that was not. I don't think it was a bad pickup.
Okay.
It's not.
It's not a flex. You guys know what a flex means. You could choose anybody. So I'm saying. So you don't think there's anybody out there better than Scottie Pippen right now?
No, there is. But I'm saying what I'm trying to say is that he went for someone that has all around good stats in the flex.
Exactly.
There's better guys that's all around better stats than that. That's what I'm saying to you. Steve Nash is better. Steve Nash is better than Scottie Pippen right now.
Well,
Randall. I think so.
Let's go. Let's move this along a little bit. Anthony, you got the next
pick. So, are we? Do they have to play at least a minimum of 5 years?
Yes.
Yeah. Minimum 5 years at least.
All right. So for now, I'm gonna go. My next pick is gonna be Jason Kidd.
Yeah, I love Jason Kidd. That's another point about Randall. I thought that could have went ahead of Chris Paul.
You know what, Julian? I was flirting with that, but I was wondering about his. I couldn't find his. I thought his percentage, not his field goal percentage, but his free throw and his threes were bad for some reason as a career.
Kid.
Yeah, what's his?
That's why I didn't go. That's why I chose Paul, Julian. I think his free throws and his threes. I know his 3-4. Later in his career, he started hitting threes. I know he averaged something like 1.5 around that, 1.3 threes per game. But that was later in his career. But his percentage was horrible. Remember, he couldn't shoot the rock for shit.
I agree. He was terrible.
He was Asin Kid. Remember, he was Asin Kid. He was Asin Kid for a long time.
So I was looking for it. I couldn't find it at the when I had 3 of them, and I was like, yo, I kind of said, yo, I gotta go for Paul. He's just the safest pick right now. And I knew that one of the two would be on the board by the time I had a chance to pick him, right? So,
yeah.
My field goal percentage is up there already, so I just figured, you know what, I could slot him in there somewhere.
but it's threes. Your 3 percentage is what?
Once Ray Allen came off the board, it doesn't matter no more now.
Yeah, true. All right, Julian. Who do you got?
Man. Okay.
That's a good pickup though, man. That Jason Kidd was a good pickup.
Yeah, that's a solid pick.
Could you share your screen again?
Yeah, no problem.
I gotta choose a small forward. I know that, but then I gotta make another pick, right? In my flex.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So I'm going to go with a power forward. He's not probably one of the most liked power forwards in the NBA.
Probably not gonna be better than Scotty. Let's go. Let me hear this.
Oh yeah, this player is better than Scotty in terms of stat wise.
All right, let's see.
But he's not one of my favorite players, like to watch or
love how he starts this off.
But if you're looking at stats, he puts up better stats than Scotty. And well, me personally, I think so. I'm going to go with Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And let me tell you why. Let me pull up his numbers. I didn't think Kevin Garnett his numbers were that great until I looked up. I was like, oh, okay. All right, Kevin. He definitely averages a double-double for his career. Okay, for his career, he averages a double-double. If you look at his prime, he went through like a stretch of like 10, 15 years of averaging more than 20 points a game. Well, 10 years, sorry.
Yeah.
More than 20 points per game. He consistently stayed around the 10 rebound per
He gets you good
season.
defense numbers too.
And blocks, if you look at his blocks, he averaged more than 1. Yeah, obviously 1. Well, it's not that great, actually, 1.4. I don't know. I just thought I didn't need any more assists. I didn't need any more threes. I just needed a big man. I needed some more rebounds because I had Moses, and Dirk wasn't really like a rebound specialist. So I thought, let me go with Garnett to round up my team. And
You know what? I can't hate you. I can't hate you on that one.
Thank you.
Even though I want to.
Thank you. Actually, and I'm not a big Kevin Garnett fan or Harden fan, to be honest with. So now I got to choose my small forward. I was going to choose Scotty as my small forward, but I thought he'll be around. I didn't think anybody would make a terrible pick and pick a Scottie Pippen with their selection, and somebody did. So Scotty is gone.
Wow. Okay.
Scotty is gone.
I agree with everything I just said.
So I don't know. This is maybe up for debate, and more than likely is. And I want to hear what you guys think. Who I could have chosen in the small forward position. Okay, I want to hear what you guys think, and I know I might get not laughed at, but like ridiculed. But this is who I'm taking. I'm taking from the Phoenix Suns. You guys know who it is?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Shawn Marion.
Shawn Marion.
Yo, honestly, I heard you a fantasy darling, man.
He was actually on my board. I had him on my board.
He's not bad.
He could shoot the 3 ball. Like, I don't know his career stats, but this is what I remember. He guarded everybody. He shot the 3 ball. He was great on defense and steals.
He rebounded.
Rebounds. When he was playing with Nash, he was catching loops like 1 per quarter. Like, he was doing everything.
Loops or lobs?
Lobs, whatever you want to call it. Okay, lobs. We want to lobs. But the point is that the baskets came easy for him when he was playing with Nash during that time frame, and he was filling the stat boxes consistently every night for a few years. Towards the end of his career, we're not going to talk about that his stint with the Raptors, but during his Phoenix time, pardon me, we can. But he's the best small forward available in my eyes. And if you guys think there's somebody better, I'd like to know, because I don't know who's better right now. And that's why, again,
I'll tell you one that
who do you have?
That I don't think any of you guys would have thought about, but we'll wait to the end.
Okay, but anyhow, before doing this fantasy draft, I did not realize how thin the small forward position is. I can't believe it. Durant, LeBron, and Bird.
And
And
Bird.
That's it. That is it. You would think small forward would be like the most textbook position to be an all-star in, like who could do it all: dribble, shoot the ball, shoot the three, play D. But there isn't any after Bird. Those three,
Yeah.
in my eyes,
Wait, which three? Which three did you say?
Bird, LeBron, and Durant are the best three small forwards ever in the NBA.
And then Dr. J.
What?
Well, yeah, and Dr. J. Sorry. You know what?
Yeah.
Top 4, Dr. J. But I had thought there would be like, you see how we have a lot of centers, a lot of power forwards, a lot of guards. For some reason, I came into this thinking there's going to be a lot of small forwards I could choose from as well. And there weren't. And they weren't. I like Scotty, but Scotty is not as good as these other like Moses Malone and like all these guys that were picked, like 5th, 6th centers.
I'll tell you what, the Moses Malone pick is, I think that's like my favorite pick of this draft, actually, man. That wasn't because honestly, I forgot about him, man. Like,
yeah,
I forgot about him.
I didn't know.
That's an awesome
I didn't
pick.
forget. Like, I won't even lie to you. Like, I knew he was dominant, but I didn't know he was that dominant. Right?
Mm-hmm. No,
Anyhow.
Absolutely.
You know what? I didn't even peep game because I thought he was right. He was before the 80s.
Me too for a little bit there. Me too.
I knew he was in the 80s. He did early 80s. He did his most damage, man.
Yeah, I forgot that.
Yeah.
I did not know either.
Hey, I don't blame you. Like I said, I didn't even have him on my list. I totally forgot about him. Totally forgot. Who's your pick, Anthony? Your final pick of the draft?
So you guys were talking about small forwards. I don't know what you guys would consider this player I'm about to actually pick up. Whether he's shooting guard or small forward, I got George Gervin.
Wow, that was who I had in my mind. I'm surprised.
Let me
well done, Anthony.
Thank you.
Well done. And it's funny because you look at his career. His career started in the 70s, but if you look at the numbers that he did from 1980 onwards, 80 to 85, they were strong.
Started working. Yeah, he started
working.
Good job, Anthony.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
I saw him, but I didn't think I thought there was other people with better stats out there. I thought
he was a dog, boy.
Whoa, his stats are nice.
But again,
he was a dog.
Remember, this pick is based on just having a solid team that can just fill up the numbers for me.
Honestly, I didn't think anyone was gonna pick him. That's why I was gonna have picked up as my last pick. I didn't think anyone was gonna pick him.
You know what?
You know what? If
Ray Allen gonna get
through,
he's a small forward.
That's what I'm saying.
I
say
he's a small. It's a small forward shooting guard. I look at his size. I think he's more of a small forward. You guys tell me. I don't think it really matters. It doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Anyways, he has all the positions.
It's a flex spot, so it don't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't make a difference.
True. But how tall is he anyhow?
6'6", 6'7".
No, 6'7", they said?
Yeah, about 6'6", 6'7".
Let me take a look here.
2 guard, man. Yeah, 2 guard.
Wow.
So is he more of a 2 or a 3?
More of a 2.
He's more of a 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
I say more of a 2.
More of a 2. No, that's a great pick, actually, Anthony. That's a great pick. But that's the beauty of doing it in the last 40 years, right? Because some of these guys on the early 80s, the early part of those 40 years, did a lot of damage, man. You know, and we all forget about it, and especially anybody under 25. You know, it just gets.
Yo, there's people under 35 that wouldn't get that.
No, for real, really.
Trust me.
So there's a few guys because of injury. I would have loved to pick them, but because of injury, they just didn't play long enough for me. Shout out to Bernard King. Shout out to Penny Hardaway. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Grant Hill. I flirted with actually picking Grant Hill, but it's like he played 19 years and 6 years he was great, and all the other years just too matched up. But
would you give a shout out to Tracy McGrady too?
No, because I think you played long enough. I think you played long enough.
I had him on my list, but I was like, the injuries. But yeah, he did play long enough.
He played long enough, But the guy I'm going to go with, actually, to round off my flex pick, I'm going to go with Isaiah Thomas. The real Isaiah Thomas, not IT, Isaiah Thomas. let me just clarify. But I mean, you're looking at the stats here. I mean, he 19 a game for his career, gave you over 9 assists.
Yeah.
Shot well, 2 steals.
Yep.
Very efficient. I mean, 3-pointers, he wasn't the greatest. It was like 30%, 29%, I think, to be precise. But
Yeah, that was gonna be my other last pick if Julius if Anthony didn't pick what he picks. So damn. Now I'm fishing.
yeah, but Isaiah Thomas is my guy, and I think he's like the second or third best point guard ever. So
He fits your squad too. He fits your squad
Yeah.
perfectly. And him and Magic are back together.
yeah, double kisses on the cheek. But what a hell of a backup, though.
Yeah.
What a hell of a backup guard. All right, so Randall, you got 2 picks left in the whole draft. Who's your flex guy? Who's your last guy?
You know what? There's 2 guys I have in mind, but I'm gonna go new school. And looking at his stats, they're pretty impressive all around. I'm going with Giannis.
Okay. Yeah. I forgot about Giannis though,
Yeah, Giannis, over 20 points a game, almost 9 rebounds a game, over four assists a game, which is impressive. Over 1.2 steals per game and 1.3 blocks per game. And over a 3 per game. So rounds off my roster, adds a little bit of everything.
2-time MVP.
Be competitive. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those guys. If he has a good 3, like there's sometimes he just has that good 3 shooting night. Hey,
Giannis?
Yeah, don't talk about his 3 points.
No, just stop right there. You're going very well up until that point.
His 3-point percentage is not the greatest. I have him in one of my keeper leagues. He doesn't kill me. He never kills me on my 3s.
Until they shut that middle down, though. Until they shut the middle down, though.
Yeah, true. But that's more playoff time, right? But I'm saying, like, for fantasy relevance,
Right.
like, hey,
He's incredible for fantasy.
He's getting better.
I've never had any issues with him. Like, he carries my fantasy teams in my keeper league. So,
No,
That's
Giannis
a good
is.
pick, and he played long enough.
yep.
He played long enough.
It's funny that we're looking at him in this kind of as a career,
Already.
not Hall of Famer, but like at this level already.
But I think you kind of have to. When somebody wins back-to-back MVPs, I mean, I know he just did it the last 2 years, but
Yeah.
you got to kind of look at him in that way. I mean,
You do. No, I
do.
What position is he?
Giannis, that's a good one.
Well, he's a flex in this thing, right?
It says forward here. I
think he's definitely a power forward. I would say.
What are you trying to say, Anthony? He's a shooting guard, right?
I'm not-
So I mean, he's a small forward. I mean,
He can't be no damn shooting guard because he can't shoot.
I mean small forward. Small forward.
Small forward. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's attacking. I mean, power forward traditionally does not
Say
play.
he's a center.
No, he definitely ain't no center.
No,
But
he don't
traditionally,
Who
That's
do
what I'm saying.
you
Traditionally-
think he is? Who do you think he is?
I will see. I will give him the small forward position only because of how he plays. A small forward is looked at as a slasher. Power forward, not so much. But I'm going based off of traditional, and that's why I say, and that's why the argument is so crazy in terms of position. Now this generation, this era, it's man, you can play any position because basically, I mean, you end up anywhere on the floor. If you're in the right position at the right time, your job is to attack and eat. So in the generations from before, now it's set up to be, if you're a power forward, you better not be beyond that 3-point line.
Yeah,
You better be inside. So
you were boxed into that position, basically.
Absolutely.
Right. So it's kind of hard to say what position is what, because at the same time now, because he can't shoot, you could kind of give him the power forward position because a lot of his points are coming within the paint.
Yeah.
It's just how he gets there. He's not backing you down.
Right.
I should say. He's basically coming off transition, his long strides, you're not keeping up with it, and he's going to find his way, hit you with a 1-2 Euro step, and just crush it with a left hand because he's just so long. You can't stop him. Like unless you slow him down from half court, which a lot of people don't want to do, even when it comes to LeBron. For some reason, nobody wants to pick him up half court or full court, let alone half court. This guy steamrolls through you. He's too big. No one wants to sacrifice their body. except for someone like, let's say, Kyle Lowry. I know you like that. I know you like that.
I like
know you
that. I like that.
You know?
I like great call on that one, man. He's not afraid.
But you know
man.
what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't want to sacrifice their body in front of these guys because they're monsters. So,
Well, you know what? You make a very good point. It also it's hard to box these guys into a specific position in today's era, and but whereas he would have been a power forward, for sure in like the 80s and 90s just because of his height alone.
Right.
Yeah.
But now with this new
He
era,
might
ball,
be a center. He might even
yeah, he's 6'10", right? For sure,
7
right?
feet.
7 feet. That's I was gonna say, or taller. So in this era, we have 7-footers doing Euro steps, dribbling end to end, right? A Durant. So that's why these guys are so hard to say you're this, that, you're just that. Whereas in the 80s, you were 7 feet, you did not even dare to put the ball on the floor.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, he's definitely. If I had to pick, he's definitely a power.
It's a good. No, it's a good. It's a good pick.
Great pick. Yeah, great
those
pick.
Euro step dunks to me, it gets me every time, man.
With those strides too, right? Like that's another thing about this era ball. The Euro step to me is almost like a travel, like not in the terms of the number of steps, because it's not 3 steps. It's like they're like mini hopping. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I look. That's
it's legal. It's legal though.
No, it's legal, but they're like you're doing mini jumps. Anyhow, this is another argument. I was like, especially with those long strides, like Giannis, he can do Euro steps from the top, like almost from the top of the key, almost.
Yo, there's times on the fast break. There's times
jumping one leg,
There's times
you're literally jumping.
No, but there's times on the fast break where like if he's on the right break, he's catching one dribble. Mm-hmm. I've seen him go from half court, and dunking it with one dribble, and I'm like, this doesn't even make sense. That's an amazing pick. All right, Headley, you got the last pick. I see you there scrambling.
Yeah, man, go let me see it. Go let me see the board again.
Let me see who's gonna pick after
some work in
the Pippen.
This guy's head's been off the screen for the last 5 minutes. He's just head
down.
Because
everybody's catching my last ones.
That AD pick hurt you, man.
No, 80 is fine. Ain't nothing wrong with AD. Trust me. You know what got me was your pick, Calvin's pick, even the Giannis pick, man. Because I was like, he's kind of early in his career, but yeah, those three picks right there really came back, because those were the Sean Marion one. I wasn't even worried about that. But those other picks got me in this last round. So now I'm at a situation. I'm looking at my team. Is it a question where I just try to look for the best player out there, and do I concede on some categories where possibly I won't be able to catch back up? So that's where I'm at right now.
You need some assists. Like, you only got Westbrook.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But I might just concede. You know what I mean? Like,
because Bird gave you like 6 to 7 assists.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay.
Right.
I got Westbrook, who gets me double-digit assists, but trust me, between Bird averaged over 6. Pippen got me about 6 too. So I got other guys that can fill it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but not in comparison to our squads. I'm saying you're not winning. Okay,
I'm maybe not winning it, but I can win overall. I'm not going to go. What I'm going to do? Get a Mark Jackson just so I want to get assists? I'm not going to do that necessarily. Okay. And tell you too, there's nobody. I'm trying to think. Who can I get that will get me assists, but not exactly kill me in other places? Who should I get, Avery?
Avery might be able to make a better pick.
She's like, Patrick Ewing is Jamaican. Jamaican, go with Patrick Ewing.
I'm just checking this one guy, and I think I might just go with him.
Pull it.
Huh?
Pull the trigger. Pull it.
Yeah, just say it.
And to tell you the truth, his numbers are not. His assist numbers are pretty good. They're up there.
Oh, we're gonna judge you.
He's getting me about 7. Wait, is this right?
Yeah, we're gonna judge you. We're judging.
No, he's getting me about 7.5 in his best career. He's getting me 7 a game. I'm going with Dwayne Wade.
You know what? I was gonna pick him over Giannis, but then I said nah.
I'm going with Dwayne Wade with my last pick.
That's funny you picked him. I was looking at him.
Yo, his you know what? He's pretty, like, his assist numbers were better than I expected, tell you the truth.
Yeah, no, they're actually not that bad.
It's
I
actually
don't
pretty
think it's
good.
7 though. I don't think he's at 7. I gotta double check.
No, well, his
No.
career best was 7.5.
No. He's at like 4.5.
Yeah, before his career, he's like at
That's for his
4.
career. I'm talking about
Five
his
years. He's actually at about 5.
I'm talking about his top 5 years. He's had a couple seasons where he's got 7.5 assists a game. His top 5 years, he's giving you 7 assists. So either way, I'm ending it with Dwayne.
No, it's good.
That's my last pick.
Yeah, I actually flirted with picking.
Yeah.
I actually flirted with picking him too. So let's take a last look at the rosters here, really quickly. Hold on a second. So to go with Julian, round 1, he took Michael Jordan. His point guard, Steph Curry, Dirk Nowitzki, Moses Malone, James Harden was his flex, Kevin Garnett was his flex, and Sean Marion was his starting small forward, who would get dusted by every one of our small forwards on this list.
Agreed.
Okay.
No, agreed.
Hey, can we talk about? You remember you talked about some picks that was outside of your top 7. I'm just curious. Well, we can do it after we go through everybody's top 7. But I'm curious about who was on people's bubbles.
Okay, so we'll get to that in a second just to wrap up.
All right.
So I'll just read over Anthony's real quick. He's got Bron with the small forward. David Robinson, again underrated in history. Charles Barkley, kind of underrated in history at this point. Well, not really. John Stockton, which is a solid pick. Reggie Miller, and then Jason Kidd and George Gervin was his flex. Yeah, there's some old school cast that will be watching this is gonna like you. They have an old soul and shit. So my guys is Magic, KD, Karl Malone, Shaq, Monster Shaq, Clyde Drexler. I took a chance with Neek. Admittedly, I took a chance with Neek, and then Isaiah Thomas as my other flex. Randall's goes with arguably the greatest center of all time in Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's definitely the last 40 years. Kobe Bryant, rest his soul. Tim Duncan, Dr. J, who's starting to get underrated almost. Chris Paul, which is a solid pick. Steve Nash and Giannis. Your team is actually pretty solid, especially that Giannis one. Can't lie.
What there, buddy?
And then Headley wraps it up with Larry Bird, Anthony Davis, Hakeem Olajuwon, Russell Westbrook, which had me walking off the screen.
Fantasy.
I know. Ray Allen, Scottie Pippen. You know, he might walk out if he doesn't get the last shot. And and Dwayne Wade to wrap up the draft. So it's a good solid. I think there's got to be a way we can get this on simulator and see who wins this. I'm gonna try to figure.
Make sure you put the best 5 years.
Yeah, but there's got to be a way that's got to get done. I gotta look into that. All my techie guys, whoever's watching this, hit me up because I want to see how that can be done. There's got to be a way that can be done. Yeah. So to wrap up, who was your bubble selections? You can throw your names out there because my guy. Well, I should say my guy, but I'm kind of surprised AI wasn't chosen.
Yeah.
Flirted with him too, but
I thought about him also.
Yeah, AI and Kawhi.
Kawhi, yep. T-Mac was for me.
Numbers are
T-Mac was another one too.
Kawhi's not really too crazy when it comes to number-wise in terms of like now single season. For me, I'm looking more so at the career. The numbers ain't that crazy.
Yeah, because the first few years in San
almost
Antonio kind of
19,
suppressed it,
6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 1.5 threes per game. Field goal percentage is at almost 50.
Like if we're talking, if we're talking about for the 40 years, I would feel he was more of a slot than a go-to guy that would lead the
he's a fringe player, right? Yeah. Like a flex.
Yeah, and then his injuries too. That kind of limited him.
But
in
I
his
think-
last 2-3 years, yeah.
But I think bigger than his injuries, I think the first 2 or 3 years in San Antonio where he wasn't like the guy, you know what I mean? It kind of suppressed the numbers a little bit with him too.
Yes.
I think the back half of his prime and like the later parts of his career is where that's going to get boosted.
I had Buck Williams.
Okay. Oh, you did, eh?
Yeah.
Is his numbers that good?
Yeah, Buck Williams.
They're pretty solid.
Really? No, I love Buck. Yep. Wow.
Terry Cummings.
Terry Cummings is another good
yeah.
one too.
Patrick
Very
Ewing.
Yeah, I had Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, Patrick Ewing of mine.
I had Mitch Richmond, but I was like, I don't know if I should even make that pick or not.
I had Chris Mullin.
So did I.
Okay.
I had Chris Mullin.
I was looking at Mookie Blaylock.
Mookie was there too?
Yeah.
Wow. Like I love Mookie too, but I didn't know his numbers were that good.
But his numbers are again. It wasn't crazy. It was more so I was looking at spots to slide in.
Got you. There's a lot of good point guards, man.
No, there is because look, Gary Payton's another bubble one too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
Gary Payton.
That was the one I was kind of flirting with.
I was looking at Gary Payton too.
I was gonna throw a wild card, like if the way it was drafted, if I was drafted, if I couldn't get any rebounds, if I was really lacking rebounds, I was gonna go for Rodman or Mutombo or even Ben Wallace, but more so Rodman though. I would have definitely thrown out everything else out the window and just you're getting like 15. His rebounding numbers was friggin' insane. At something like his peak of his career. I remember some games the guy would give you like 30 boards. Like, makes no sense.
I even considered Hershey Hawkins.
I'm not familiar with his.
Hershey Hawkins.
What about Artis Gilmore?
No, I didn't have artists. I flirted with Kevin McHale too. Kevin McHale's another one that's on the bubble.
I was about to say Kevin McHale was on mine also. The only one that you guys haven't mentioned was Agent Dantley was on mine as well too.
No, he was on there. Sorry, I skipped him.
You had Agent Dantley too?
I had Dantley. I actually had him under George Gervin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Agent Dantley. You look at his. He averaged like over 30 for like 3-4 seasons in a row or something like that. Like,
would you peep Artis Gilmore's stats though? He had almost 19 points per game, 12 rebounds per game, 2.3 block shots per game. No, 2.4 block shots per game, and 2.3 assists per game. That's not bad for a career.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
who is this?
Listen to his stats: 24 points per game, 4.2 rebounds per game, 6.5 assists per game, and 2.9 threes per game.
That's a very good one, man. Honestly, I should have thought about him.
I
didn't think about him. That's a very good. Those are some very good numbers.
There's one guy there's one person you all mentioned, but no one picked him though.
Who's that?
Chris Webber. He's got some pretty solid.
Yeah, he got some solid stats.
Yeah, he does.
Honestly, I thought June was going to take him before. Then he said he went with KD. With KG, I mean. KG. I thought he was going to go with Webber.
He was on my list actually, Webber. Like probably the last power forward I would have taken, but if I had to go down to it, but
yeah, but I think there's a lot more. Like I think the power forwards that most of us took were better than him.
Yeah, no, they were.
Oh yeah.
They were, for sure. And then, what do you guys think of Yao?
Yao Ming?
No, he's not going to be on this list.
No,
did he even play 5 years? No, for real. I think his
he was hurt so much.
Cut it short for him.
That's what I'm saying. Yao wouldn't make this.
Yeah, but he did play 5 years. I'm pretty sure he did. But
Shaq said he's the strongest guy he ever played against.
Yeah. But it's funny.
He said he's the strongest?
He was huge, man. You couldn't move him. You know who I thought was pretty good too. I don't know how. I'm not checking the stats fantasy wise, but just with an '80s player with big men, because he used to do 20 and 10 a lot of times too. Was Brad Daugherty.
Oh yeah, okay.
Brad Daugherty was another guy that gave you like solid stats.
Yeah, he wasn't making this list though.
Yeah, no, but like that's another one too. That's actually pretty good.
What about Anton Jamison?
Anton Jamison?
Yeah.
Wow,
look at his numbers, man. Look at his numbers, man.
Well, if you're gonna say that, then you might as well say Glenn Robinson too.
Big dog. I don't know.
Had some numbers.
That was my guy, Purdue, though. I ain't gonna front.
Anton Jameson put up better numbers than Glenn Robinson, though.
Really? Eh?
Yeah.
It's crazy because you tend to
wouldn't
forget
think
it.
so.
So
You wouldn't think
you
so.
forget so fast. Like I know he had like one or two, three good. No, more than one or two. Like he had a solid career, but I didn't think he would be in discussion for it. Like,
He put up 18 and a half points, 7.5 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 45% from field goal, 34% from 3-point field goal. Free throws are horrible at 72%, but he gave you 1 steal per game, blocks just at 0.4, and only 1.6 turnovers.
I'm
he
curious.
definitely had a solid career.
I'm curious though because before we go, I know you guys were saying there's a lot of point guards. What other point guards, other than the one that Randall mentioned with Lillard, like what other point guards did you guys maybe have that didn't make it?
Tim Hardaway, Byron Scott.
Oh, he was a 2 though.
Byron Scott?
Byron Scott 2?
Yeah, he's
No,
a
he was
two.
a 2. He was.
No,
A
take
2.
Byron Scott out of that. Byron Scott was not.
He was a 3-point killer.
Um,
Due to injuries, because they wouldn't be on this list, but Mark Price and KJ were 2 guys that would like.
Yo, but real quick, Anthony,
crazy. You know,
let me tell you Glenn Robinson's numbers. Average 20.7 points per game, 6.1 rebounds, 82% from the foul line, 46% from the field goal, 34% from 3-point.
You can get them buckets, man.
And 1.2 steals.
That's still not bad though.
Game. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, him and Antoine. That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna say Antoine Jameson, you might as well say Glenn Robinson, man, because he put up some numbers.
Yeah, big dog was my guy at Purdue, man. Holy.
At Purdue, he was nasty.
Oh my god,
he was nasty at Purdue, man. Yo, honestly, he's one of the best. At least from when I was a kid, like watching college games, man.
No,
he's one of the best college players I've ever seen.
He's up there. Absolutely, he's up there for sure. It's
funny.
Can't
forget about you can't forget about him, man.
It's funny, man. I remember one time running into him. I ran into this little restaurant to go take a whiz Caravana weekend, and running out
to that weekend.
There was nobody in this restaurant. There was 3 people, and there's this black guy sitting with his couple, and then the guy that was sitting there was Glenn Robinson. I mean, I washed my hands, but I shook his hand though because I was like, yo. I was like, yo, I had to tell him because I was like, yo, this was like my idol at Purdue. Like,
he also came multiple years because I saw him too. One Caravana.
Yeah, he was super nasty, man. He was super nasty. But listen, I mean, I got to wrap this up. But fellas, man, this was a pleasure, man. This was a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun. I wasn't sure how this was going to work out, in terms of the pick selection and stuff. But I just figured it would be interesting.
No, it was fun.
Yeah. It was good, man. I liked it. You know. On all honesty, as we dog each other and stuff like that, but everybody put up some solid teams, though.
Yeah. No, 100%. Not sure about Julian's though, but everybody else, yeah, for sure. 100%, man. Nah, but like I said, Anthony, like I said, the George Gervin one was solid, but Julian's my favorite one. That Moses Malone pick to me, like that's the one where I'm like, shit.
A decade.
Yeah, he
dominance.
He busted a lot of ass. A lot of ass, man.
That Gervin pick really surprised me. I didn't think anyone was gonna catch him.
Yeah,
not like someone scooped him up right before anyone could even really oh shit, he's left on the board.
Yeah.
Yo, for real. Honestly, that last roll for the flex players, that was the hardest pick for me out of all the whole draft. You know what I mean? Like that you think by then, you're going towards the end, you're picking at straws, but you still want to put a decent player, right? But man, literally 3 picks in a row was all guys that was on my board.
Yo, I'm just surprised Julian didn't take DeMar DeRozan in his flex.
Seriously, I'm stunned.
Yo, wrap up DeRozan's stats. He might impress, man. He might
Anthony. As you know, I'm a Raptor fan.
Yeah.
And I'm a DeMar fan, right? Like, yeah, I know he has some inefficiencies, but I just loved how he developed his game year in and year out. He was like one of the hardest worker players, and I respected that. These guys dog me every time. by me highlighting that. Like I'm saying, he may be the only all-star player that has ever played for Toronto who did not want to leave Toronto.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I just respected that. But these guys dog me all the time for being a
So hold on. The rest of y'all ain't Raptor fans?
They're not from Toronto. They're not from Toronto. They hate on Toronto.
Oh,
Wow.
is that what?
Don't say that, man.
They are Anthony. Okay, outside of Randall, I'm not going to say Randall, but there's a lot of guys that are these guys from Montreal. They're bandwagon jumpers. When they lose, they're like, Papa, they didn't do this, they didn't do that.
I look at the Raptors. I look at the Raptors like I look at the Raptors like my children. If they do something bad, I'm going to tell you, and I want them to do better. I'm not gonna call them and be like, it's gonna be all right. You know what I mean? Don't worry about it. Nah, if you do something bad, I'm gonna tell you that.
Yeah,
Henley hasn't watched the game since like '99. I'm telling you, he hasn't watched it 20 years. So don't listen to him. Call him box score Henley.
The analogy is when they do bad, you got to bring the belt out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you got to
exactly.
bring the skinny one. You got to bring the switch out. You know what I mean? You got to bring the switch out. When they lost, when they got swept by the Wizards.
No, put it this way. If it was up to Julian, DeMar DeRozan would still be a Raptor. We would have never got Kawhi. You would never have the balls to make a trade like that. Not Julian. You know what I mean? We've been asking about that for years to get the guy out of here. To improve the team.
So Henry, you still want Lowry out of here?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, if you saw that guy's contract, he ain't going nowhere.
I'm saying that you can't. I think we talked about this in our chat before. You can't continue with Fred VanVleet and Lowry as your small backcourt going forward. So it's either when Lowry's on an expiring contract. Unless he's going to take,
you can have if you can.
Why not? Yeah,
you get Giannis next year and Larry back on a low.
Well, that's
super low though.
Yo, see that
yeah.
You didn't let me finish. Unless Lowry decides to come back on a huge discount, a home team discount for next year. But if he's trying to keep on getting at value money for what he's at 30 plus,
but there will be no money.
Do that.
No, but there's no budget for him. I'm just saying, like,
there's no budget for him.
If we get Giannis, I'm saying, like, worst case scenario.
Hold on.
And we don't need Lowry.
Hold on. Let me wrap this up and wrap up the recording. We can continue talking, but let me just wrap up the recording.
Yeah, sure.
But fellas, once again, thank you for doing this. This was awesome. I got my South Sharaf shirt, even though it was backwards.
Yeah.
But thank you for the love, guys. This was a pleasure.